Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class here at ISBHPK. We are ISBHPK Houston. We are located here in Houston, Texas. The address of the school is 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, zip code 77071. It's a lot. The class days here in Houston is Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m., Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m., Shabbat, Saturday morning classes from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We also got classes in San Antonio, Texas, and the address of the school out there in San Antonio, Texas is 4219 Center Gate Street, San Antonio, Texas, zip code 78217. Again, we got classes out in San Antonio, Texas, and the address of their school is 4219 Center Gate Street, San Antonio, Texas, zip code 78217. And there's also, San Antonio also has their YouTube channel as well. And they are their channel for YouTube is ISBHPK San Antonio. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to the San Antonio YouTube channel as well. And we got classes out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The address of the school out there is 7710 Meddle Boulevard. Again, the address to the school out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico is 7710 Meddle Boulevard, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Excuse me, zip code 87110. And out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, we got Priest Mashaba. He does the Blog Talk Radio. And it's every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it starts at 9:30 a.m. Again, you got Priest Mashaba. He does the Blog Talk Radio, live from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 9:30 a.m. And if you'd like to link up with that, it's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHAHBA. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to Blog Talk Radio as well. And here in Houston, we do the kids class. You can go to ISBHPK Kids. You can like, share, and subscribe that as well. Plenty of classes for the kids, ages 12 and under, on the ISBHPK Kids channel. And we do the cable show here in Houston as well. We do it every Saturday at 8 p.m. and it's Comcast Local Channel 17, or you can stream it live at hmstv.org. Again, we do the cable show out here in Houston as well, and it starts at 8 p.m. on Saturdays. You can find it on Comcast Local Channel 17. If you're not in the local area, you can stream it live at hmstv.org. And if you would like to contact any of the priests, we got Priest Quatazat right here to my left. His number is 303-557-8979. Again, his number is 303-557-8979. We ask that you text only during class. We got Priest Kazakia as well. He's out there in Virginia. His number is 281-707-2737. Again, we got Priest Kazakia out there in Virginia. His number is 281-707-2737. And of course, we got Israel. We're on Facebook, Accepted Orders. If you'd like to get any garments made, fringe shirts, anything like that, you can go to Israel. We're on Facebook. And we also, for the donations, if you'd like to contribute in any way to the schools, to any of the 4 schools, whether it's the Albuquerque, whether it's the San Antonio or the Houston area, or the Virginia area, which we'll have the address to the school in Virginia shortly. In the coming future, we will. If you'd like to send any donations, books, pads, pens, papers, apocryphas, Bibles, whatever it may be, you can send it to any of the school addresses. And also here in Houston, we got the Wells Fargo account number on the screen. We got the Google Wallet account number on the screen as well, if you'd like to contribute in any way. And that'll be it for the announcements.
How y'all feeling?
Wow.
Everybody good?
Calm.
Benja, what questions you got? Listen, we're gonna try to do questions until 8. I gotta get this class out.
Calm.
So, not to rush through questions or anything like that. I know y'all gotta get them answered. But that way y'all ain't getting too much, and you'll be able to digest everything. But we definitely gotta get this class out. What question you got?
Calm. I have a few, but I'm only gonna ask 3 today because I'm not trying to take a long time.
Go ahead, shoot.
Okay,
it's all good.
I have a question about Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. I was doing some studying, and I didn't have the full comprehension of it, but I had an idea like of what the circumstance of it was.
26 and what?
26 and verse 6.
Right, go ahead.
It reads, "But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman,
Right.
and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro.
Right.
He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
Right.
A drunken woman is a gatherer abroad causing great anger, and she will not cover her own shame." Now, I read the entire chapter, but that kind of stood out to me as far as like I didn't have a proper understanding because I was thinking one thing, but I'm not sure about it.
Right, so start at verse 6.
Come. Verse 6. "But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman."
Right, so you got to look at it in the aspect of a man that's dealing with 2 women. Right? This is a man dealing with 2 women, and it says it's a grief of heart.
Come.
It's a grief of heart to him to have to deal with a woman that's jealous over another woman.
Come.
Because then now, what's going on in that situation? It's he said, she said, it's back and forth. It's, well, everyone's trying to win this man's affection, right? But are they doing it the right way?
Come.
No, they're not.
No, I'm saying I hear you.
Yeah, they're not trying to win his affections the right way.
Right.
So it becomes a grief to this man's heart, to his spirit.
Right.
Because now he has to deal with breaking down that spirit of jealousy. One woman gonna have it, the other woman's gonna have it. So now he has to go back and forth. You jealous? Okay, let me show you why you shouldn't be jealous. And take her through the whole regime of scriptures on jealousy and envy and anger, right? And then that spirit might hop off of her, hop onto the other one. It's gonna be a back and forth. So it's saying, read it one more time.
"But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman."
Right, because why is she jealous over another woman? Well, you know why? Because she's not busy in her work. She's worried about how you gonna be worried about another woman when you're supposed to be busy? Right. Who you here for? See, the jealousy don't come in when you're here for the right purpose. If you're here for Christ, then you ain't gonna worry about another woman and what she's doing. You ain't gonna worry about your husband and what he's doing in the law, because it is lawful. So if he's not breaking the law, you don't need to worry. And even then, it's not your place to worry, or for a woman to worry about and get so deep into what her husband is doing. Abide in your labor, like the scriptures say. Just like us. We got to abide as men in our labor.
Right.
Go ahead, read on. So you get that part, right?
Come.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
"And a scourge of the tongue which
And a scourge.
"And a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all."
Right, and it's just talking about how she talks. That's that tongue lashing, right? That think about how jealous women are. What do? They falsely accuse, right? They talk a certain way about their rival because this is a rival. So how am I going to talk about my rival? Well, I'm a badmouth her. I'm a talebearer. I'm going to talk bad about her. I'm going to point out all her negatives. This is what it's talking about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I looked up the definition of scourge.
Uh-huh.
I personally didn't know the definition of it.
Right.
It
Go ahead.
says here, it says a whip used as an instrument of punishment. Also, it says a person or thing that causes great trouble or suffering.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You gotta find it quick. Yeah, because the scriptures say life and death are in the power of the tongue, right?
Con.
So it says a scourge is a whip.
Con.
But some people, the way they talk,
Okay.
we're gonna get the scripture where it talks about words breaking bones. Go there real quick. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 28 and verse 13.
Con. Ecclesiasticus.
Is that it?
It's chapter 28, but it's verse 17. It's locked.
Con. Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse 17.
Right, go ahead.
The stroke of the whip
Or a scourge. Go ahead.
maketh marks
Right.
in the flesh,
Read on.
but the stroke of the tongue.
See, because the tongue can be used as a weapon. Like they say in the world, your words are weapons.
Con.
Go ahead.
Breaketh the
It
bone.
does what?
Breaketh the
You gotta
bone.
think, how does somebody's tongue break bones? Well, because they talk you down. So this jealousy of these women, they're talking each other and breaking each other down.
Con.
So that's what it's talking about here.
Con.
Go ahead, jump back to 26 and verse 7.
7. Okay. Verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro.
Right?
He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
Right, because who's really in their right mind going to try to hold a scorpion? A scorpion stings, right?
Con.
So you holding this thing, but you're trying to, oh, wait a minute. Because why? Now she's going back and forth. The way she talks is contentious. It's back and forth. You're trying to settle her down. Calm down. Let's talk. But it's like trying to grab a scorpion. You're going to be real cautious, and then when you do try to grab it, you're worried about getting stung.
Yeah.
Right.
You see that?
Right.
Go ahead, read on.
Verse 8. A drunken woman.
And what?
A drunken woman.
Read.
And they gather abroad.
Right, go ahead.
Causing great anger.
Yeah, because who wants their woman to be drunken and being a gatherer abroad? She's always out. The scriptures say that a woman should be a keeper at home.
Con.
So a gatherer abroad, I gotta go hit happy hour. I gotta go hit this. I gotta go hit that. I gotta go hang out with this friend. I gotta go hang out with that friend. But while she's doing it, that drunken woman. You ever seen a drunken woman?
Con.
How shameful she looks.
Yes.
Yeah. It said that she brings what?
She causing great anger.
Yeah, it causes anger to that man, to that husband.
Okay.
Yeah, you like, damn, what the hell's wrong with this woman? And not just to the husband, but to the people around her. You see that?
Also, it's not just the husband. It could also be herself and people around her, or is it just the
Well,
husband and people around her?
when you read chapter 26, it's talking about a man. It's talking about husband and wife.
Okay.
But we can't be narrow-minded to this thing like
Right.
she's just making just her husband angry.
Right. It could
She's
be.
making people around her angry.
Con.
You ever been out with just a drunken person in general?
Right. Right.
And how you like, wait a minute, you might have went out with a person and they got a little bit too faded, and you like, okay, I'm gonna let that slide. And they got faded and they acted out. You're like, I'm gonna let that slide. That was probably just an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
But then you go out with them a second time, you like, wait a minute, why are you? It's a habit.
Exactly.
You start like, nah, I can't be around that.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's talk about this husband and his wife. No man wants that for his wife.
Con.
That's not how they're supposed to carry themselves. Go to Titus real quick. Go to Titus 2. Titus 2 and verse 1.
Con. The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine.
Right, now this is sound doctrine, sound teaching that cannot be refuted. Read.
Verse 2. That the aged men be sober.
They be what?
Sober.
Come on.
Grave.
Read.
Temperate.
So they got to be sober-minded. Okay?
Right.
Sober in the mind. Sober and it's twofold here. Sober from all the doctrine that's out there, but also sober from all the drinking and all the influences. You got to have a sober mind. It said temperate, right?
Con.
Meaning I'm temperate in all things. I'm not over angry. I'm not over sad. I'm temperate in all things. Go ahead.
Sound in faith.
Sound in what?
Faith.
So he got to be faithful. Now this is talking about the aged man. Read on.
In charity.
Right.
In patience.
Right, you got to be charitable and patient. Now, read on.
Verse 3. The aged women likewise.
The what?
The aged women likewise.
Come on.
That they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Right, because behavior that becometh holiness is not walking around drunken and being a gatherer abroad. Think about you know those women that are gatherers abroad. What are they into? They're up in the face of every other man. Right? They're promiscuous. Right? Did I say that right? They all up in everybody's face, looking niggas in the eye. Right? With that lust on them. That's what a gatherer abroad does. She's supposed to be at home, building her house. It says a wise woman buildeth their house. A foolish woman plucketh it down with her hands. Go ahead.
Not false accusers.
Not what?
False accusers.
You see how that 26 matches up? Because that jealousy, now I start false accusing you because I want to make myself look a certain way. Go ahead, read on.
Not giving too much wine.
Not to what?
Giving too much wine.
Yeah, not giving to too much wine. It's not a sin or off for a woman to have a little drink. But you can't have a nightcap every night. Yeah. Where's the place for the spirit? If you nightcapping every night, come on, man. Where is the building and the communication with your husband? Where is the spiritual things being implemented? Go ahead.
Teachers of good things.
Of what?
Good things.
Come on.
Verse 4. That they may teach the young women.
Right.
To be sober.
Right. Because if you're drunken and they're looking at that example, how can you teach? How can you teach them good things if they're looking at your example of being influenced and being inebriated? They can't. They won't. You won't be able to teach anything through a sober conscience, through a sober mind. You being influenced, you're just going to influence the next person just like you. Yep. So the job of these aged women, and not just the aged women, the wisdom is here for all. The Most High say He give you wisdom liberally. He give you wisdom that as much as you want it, He'll give it. So if you want to be wise at a young age, get the wisdom. You don't have to be an aged woman to follow this standard. You could be a 20-year-old, you could be a 16-year-old, 14-year-old, 19-year-old. You could be a young woman that has a standard. And all you got to do is follow it. Go ahead.
To love their husbands.
To do what?
Love their husbands.
This is what needs to be taught. Read on.
To love their children.
And to love their children. That's the job. If we thought it was anything else, then you're sadly mistaken. If you thought that your job as a woman was anything else but what it says here in Titus, obviously there's other things. I could go all day with this. But these were the foundational things. Go ahead.
Verse 5. To be discreet.
To be what?
Discreet.
Yeah, discretion. Somebody look that word up. To have discretion, to be discreet. Look up the word discreet. While they look that up, go ahead, read on.
Okay.
What you got?
Discreet. It says prudent. Wise in avoiding errors.
Wise in what?
Wise in avoiding errors or evil.
Right. Wise in avoiding errors or evil. So what does that mean? I'm not gonna be out running around this club, that club, club hopping.
It says you're reserved. Reserved,
right?
Right.
It's gonna tell you how though. So the discretion, the scriptures say discretion will, get that one from me. Discretion will preserve you. The scriptures tell you that. A woman is supposed to be discreet. And not just a woman, a man too. You gotta roll with discretion and discernment. But it's telling you the wisdom on how to avoid errors and evil. What helps us to do that? Ain't it the wisdom? The application thereof? Right, read on.
Chaste.
She's what?
Chaste.
She's chaste. Somebody look that word up. It's all good. Chaste. Look that word up. See, all these words, y'all got to be looking up and understanding what is this Bible telling me. Because we breeze over it and it's like, oh yeah, I got to be chaste. Dum-da-dum-da-da. What you got?
It says abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse.
Yeah, now, it's not saying you got to be chaste with your husband, but it's telling you to abstain from all extramarital affairs. So you ain't supposed to be out there sitting up with other men. The scriptures say sitting at all with another man's wife. That's Ecclesiasticus, what, 7 or 9? We gonna get it. What you got?
Oh, I was also going to say on the chase too, on the definition, it's also like with a woman speaking about her sexual relations with her man to another one.
Right.
So it's like you staying away from all that.
And that's also discretion. You're not laying up. You're not sitting up with sisters talking about how he blew your back out the night before. Like nobody needs to know that. That's between you and your man. That's between you and him. No sister needs to know that. Y'all get that? What you got for where's the scripture I wanted?
It's Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 11.
Get that, Lamont.
Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 11.
So it says discretion, or to be discreet, is avoiding error or sin. What you got? Read.
Proverbs chapter 2 verse 11.
Go ahead.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
Read.
But with the lowliness.
That's not it.
Proverbs 2 and 11.
Proverbs 2 and verse 11. Where'd you go?
I got it.
Read.
Proverbs chapter 2 verse 11.
Come on.
Discretion shall preserve thee.
Discretion shall do what?
Shall preserve thee.
Yeah, discretion is going to preserve you from all the filth out there that's trying to latch on and drag you around. Discretion, knowing that, you know what, I don't need to be in the club. I don't need to be in the party. I don't need to be over here with these set of women that ain't doing nothing for my spirit. Discretion, right?
God.
Having the ability to avoid error or sin. Read on.
God.
No, it said discretion shall preserve thee.
God. Shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee.
You see that? And understanding why it's important is what's going to keep you. It's going to keep you away from those evils. A lot of y'all don't understand why it's important for me to have rules and regulations, and why is it important for me to be disciplined. Why is it important for me to have love and the care of discipline? Like, oh, he just telling you what to do. Nah, he's telling you what to do so you don't get destroyed. But you got to have the understanding to see why it's important. It ain't that we just want to tell you sisters what to do. We're doing it for your benefit, for your spirit. Because if you knew what to do, you'd already be doing it, right? Come on. Jump back to Titus.
Titus chapter 2 verse 5.
Go ahead.
To be discreet.
Read.
Chaste.
Right, so abstaining from all extracurricular sexual innuendos and all that stuff. Right? Go ahead.
Keepers at home.
And this is how you do it. She's a what?
Keepers at home.
A gatherer abroad.
Keepers at home.
Always in the club.
Keepers at home.
Yeah, you a keeper at home. You building your house. You building your house. A lot of y'all's moms ain't teach you how to build no house. Because guess what? They weren't a keeper at home. They was up in somebody's face. They was running around chasing every Tom, Dick, and Harry. The wisdom is here to show us that this is the standard for a woman, a wise woman. Go to Proverbs 14 and verse 1. Go to Proverbs 14 and verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1.
Read.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
But how you gonna do that when you ain't there? How are you gonna build your home when you're not there spiritually or physically? Oh, you just going every couple of hours or every other day you gonna build? No, it's a constant thing. Read it one more time.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Right, every wise woman is gonna build her house. The ones that are trying to roll with discretion, the ones that are chaste, the ones that have understanding of why it's important, they gonna build their house. But the ones that are lacking, what are they gonna do?
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Read it again.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
A foolish woman is gonna pluck her house down with her own hands. Her own hands are gonna her own doing. She's gonna be building with one hand and plucking it down with the next. Or her husband is gonna be putting the right mold into her, and she's gonna be like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be at home. I don't want to roll in wisdom. I don't want to be subject to your order. I don't want to deal with Christ." That's what it all stems back to. What you want to deal with, the world or Christ?
Yeah.
What you want to deal with, the way the world taught you, the way your mama and them said, your auntie and them said? All you gotta do is look at their life. Is it great? Is it great? Look at the way you were raised. Was it great? Was it a life of wisdom and understanding and charity and love and peace? No, you're here to attain that now. So this is the mode. This is the order. This is the setup. This is the method.
Sir.
What else? Was that it on that question?
Comment on that question.
What else you got? Y'all sisters get that?
So, you kind of answered one of them too. It was in Titus, but you went over it already.
Right.
The next question I had here was in chapter 27
of Ecclesiasticus.
Sorry, yeah, Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 17.
And I like these questions because they are going to go into the class. So, so it's all good. Go ahead, read.
Verse 17. Love thy friend and be faithful unto him.
Go ahead.
But if thou betrayest his secrets, follow no more after him.
Go ahead.
For as men, Salah, verse 18. For as a man hath destroyed his enemy, so hast thou lost the love of thy neighbor.
Read.
As one that letteth a bird go out of his hand, so hast thou let thy neighbor go, and shalt not get him again.
Right. So, what part do you not get?
So, I didn't understand as far as I get love thy friend and be faithful unto him, but it says if thou betrayest his secrets, follow no more after him. But
yeah, because think about it. Somebody gives you something in confidence. We're besties, right? Or this is my brother. He tells me something in confidence. Now, I don't want y'all to. There's an understanding and a balance to this, where you got to understand. Now, somebody might tell me something, and I may not have what is required to help them. So what is my next step?
Go higher up.
Go higher up. But some people look at that as what? Oh, you tattletale, you told on me, you snitched. But no, it's not. It's a means of getting the help. This ain't high school. Where he told on me. He snitched on me. So I don't want y'all to get it misconstrued that, oh, when somebody tells you something in confidence, if you're dying in the spirit and you go to somebody to talk to them and they can't fix you, their job is to go to the next person that can. See, a lot of y'all sisters' problem, I'm going to go right back to you sisters. A lot of you sisters' problem is you go to the young sister that can't help you. You go to the one that's sick like you, the one that's vomiting all over the place just like you. You go to them and think they can help. Instead of going to where the help is, you shut off the actual doctor, the actual physician that can help you. And you do what? You go right to a patient? Who walks into the emergency room and walks to a patient? You walk in with a disease and you're like, hey, you a patient? Oh, help me. Nobody does that. But only Israel does that because you want to hide and sweep things under the rug. So this is not what this is talking about, where someone tells you something in confidence and you need help and they go, you know, a brother, you might tell a brother something. You already know how we do.
Yeah.
You tell him something, it's going right to me. Because that's how we roll. It's about making sure that everybody is good. Now this is going into a different mode of betraying secrets.
Okay.
But betraying a secret is telling you lost that person. Think about it. Somebody betray a secret of yours? You really gonna mess with them? No, it's hard.
That's why I got confused there because I was reading. When I thought about it, I didn't read it at the time, but I couldn't find it when I was actually reading it. Anyway, long story longer. How it states in Matthew chapter 18,
right?
Verse 20. It says, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said,
Matthew 18 and 21. That's where we at. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me?
Right.
And I forgive him? Till 7 times? Yahushua said unto him, I say not unto thee, unto 7 times, but unto 70 times and 7. So I was like, how could we?
Where's the balance?
Yeah, where's the balance in that?
Well, the balance is this.
Yeah.
Jump down. The balance is this, verse 15.
Verse 15.
So let's verse 15 of Matthew's the 18th chapter. But let's break it down. Someone tells you a secret, or you tell somebody a secret,
right?
And it's a secret. It's it's just some secret you have.
Yeah.
And they go and they're not seeking counsel for you.
Right.
To help something about you, they just blabbed out your secret. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, is that relationship just now you can't fix it? Of course not. That man you're supposed to go to that man and say, listen, man, you know, I told you something in confidence.
Right.
That was between me and you.
Right.
Why did you let out my secret? It's no different in Matthew 18. If a brother offends you, you go to that brother. You tell him his fault between you and him. And if he wants to hear you, then it's all good. If not, like the scriptures tell us, you go to the elders. And if you don't want to hear them, then that's when you're like, okay, fine, I can't deal with you. You see what I'm saying? So the balance, you gotta understand, it's not talking about here in Ecclesiasticus some spiritual thing that you need help with to the point where you need. This is like, you know,
general speaking.
Something might be going on with my rib and me. And I go to let's say I go to Kazaki, like, hey, this was going on with my rib. It ain't his job to go blab it out to the whole congregation and everybody lower than me. I'm just like, why would you do that? You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you this in confidence to get your help. You know, or I might say, hey, you know, my rib is dealing with something. Hey, sis, can you go talk to her? And you know, the sister got to know what's going on. Now, is it her job to run to every sister and just start blabbing what's going on? No, being a busybody. No, I gave you the information so you can go help whoever, but not to spread the information to everybody that don't need to know it. So it's hard to, what it's saying, it's hard to trust that person. It's hard to now rely on that person to tell them anything. You see what I'm saying? Was that it on that?
No, that was another verse. I think you just answered it though. It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 19.
Go ahead.
As one that letteth a bird go out of his hand,
right?
So hast thou let thy neighbor go, and shall not get him again.
Yeah.
So if in other words, what you were just saying earlier, how you stated, if there is no as far as like getting the answers to the priest, and then you forward the answer up, and there's no understanding there, then it's okay, you let it go type of thing. It's like it's a lost cause almost.
Say that one more time.
So like how you were saying earlier, how like if there was an issue that came about, and you go to the high priest, and that person, you know, you go to the person first, he offended you. You go to the high priest, and then that action doesn't change. So is this saying that now is that pertaining to letting that person go?
Well, let's go back to Matthews, because you got to understand the Matthews and the Ecclesiasticus, they're talking kind of the same thing, but not really.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's different instances. See, the Matthews is giving you the clear cut on. Let's read it. Let's read verse 15, because it's telling you there's one is a trespass.
Right.
And you know, you can say, well, I told this man a secret. I told the brother that I had a beat off demon, right? And then he went and told y'all. Did he really tell some secret? No. He didn't tell some secret. Because if he came to me and said, well, you know, I was talking to Major, and Major said, man, he got a demon on him about this and da-da-da-da. And it's up to me. I can say, well, you know what? Go back to Major, and this is what you got to show him. Show him these scriptures. Or I can go to you and say, hey, not saying that you came with that demon. I'm just using that as an example. But I can say, well, let me go to Major, or I can send that man back. You see what I'm saying? But the understanding is this. If you talk to any officer about any problem, if he can't deal with it, it's going to go up.
Right.
And regardless, we communicate about everything anyway. So don't be, I know you're not, but we can't be naive like, oh, that's a secret. No, it's not. Some spiritual thing going on with you, that's not a secret.
Right.
The scriptures say we got to communicate about things and be in the same mind, same judgment. So that's not a secret. You see what I'm saying? But now if it's something, you know, something outside of that, then there's a difference where, you know, man, this is what's going on with, this is what's happening with my rib, sis. Can you talk to her? And then that sister goes and just blabs her mouth about your issues. Now you know you can't go talk to that sister. You can't use her as the in-between between you and your rib. Matthew 18 is telling you if a person trespasses against you, if he does something against you,
verse 15.
Right, read it.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee.
Right, offenses, right?
Right.
He says something to you, you like, hell you say that?
Right.
Or, his brother might, any offense, he stole from you.
Whatever.
Right? He took something from you unjustly or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Go and tell him his fault.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Between thee and him alone.
Yeah, you feel a certain way because you might feel like somebody offended you. They may not even know. But that's why you got to go to him and say, hey, when you said that earlier, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I feel offended by that. Now, that man is either supposed to, he's going to do one or two things. He's going to condescend and be in the spirit and say, you know what, my bad. I didn't mean it like that. Or he's going to say, nigga, you tripping. I didn't do that. It's one of two ways.
One of 2 ways. Come.
Right? It's one of 2 ways, but it depends what spirit he's in. What manner of man are you going to deal with? Because some brothers will do things not knowingly and then have the audacity to deny things. Like, no, I didn't do that. Now, it's one thing to say, well, I didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
But just to say blatantly, that's how you feel, nigga, peace. Ain't that's what the world, nigga, that's how you feel. Right? We ain't supposed to be like that. So you go to that man and let him know, this is how I feel. That way you get it off your chest. Ain't no grudge. Ain't no, when I sit next to you, I'm tightening up, ready to fight you. No, I'm letting you know how I feel. I'm getting it off. Now, he's supposed to take it in wisdom. Go ahead.
If he shall hear thee.
Right. If he shall what?
Hear thee.
Come on.
Thou hast gained by my salah. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Thou hast what?
Gained thy brother.
Yeah, if he hears you, man, you gained him. That's your brother. He's able to condescend and understand your feelings. Condescend down and say, you know what? I'm gonna watch that. Let me watch the way I walk and move around. Go ahead.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee.
But if he gets prideful, stiff-necked, nah, nigga, you wrong, that's how you feel. I don't care how you feel. Read.
Then take with thee 1 or 2 more.
Right, now you. Okay, well, let's get a counsel real quick. So that we can get this out and get it squashed. Go ahead.
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Right. Now it's not just one person giving his point of view, and now it's 2 and 3 witnesses saying, okay, look, boom, let's clear this up, let's hash it out. This is the proper way to do things. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them,
come on,
tell it unto the church.
Right. Now you got to make it a public thing. Now you got to get the body involved.
Gotcha.
We got to do it. We've got to do it. We've got to have body group counsel. Where there's a situation, brother didn't want to hear the brother, he didn't want to hear the 2-on-2 counsel. But we got to bring everybody and let them know what type of man this is around us or what type of woman is around us. Go ahead.
But if he neglect to hear the church,
right,
let him be unto thee as a heathen man.
As a what?
Heathen man.
Go ahead.
And a publican.
Right. Publican, sinner. Not holding to the faith, not holding to the laws. You get that? Go to the one in Proverbs that I wanted.
It's
just back on, yeah. It's on both points also. Proverbs what?
It's Proverbs 18 and 19.
What are Proverbs 18 and verse 19?
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 19.
Go ahead.
A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
You see that? A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong. I mean, that's plain and simple. But the point is, because and it's 2 ways. A brother that's offended, he's not supposed to get into pride mode. Like, you offended me, I can't talk to you. You offended me, nigga, nah, I'm good. No, I'm good. You good. You know how they do it, man. You good. Brother, hey, my bad. Nah, you good. Am I? Well, that's how they do it. Yeah, I'm good. And then, but what? They really deep down inside is like, man, I hate this nigga. And then when they come next to you, you can see them cringe up, side-eyeing. Sisters do that. I'm good. But are you really? No, you're not. Babe, what's going on? Talk to me. Nah, we good. You good. I'm good. Nah, we not. Because I can see the way you move around, we ain't good. It's about communication. That's why Hebrews 13:16 says to do good and to communicate, forget not. For such sacrifices It's a sacrifice to have to let your mind down, to let that pride down. For some, it's a sacrifice, man, to have to put themselves in a vulnerable state to say what's on their mind. But some don't make that sacrifice. They're like, no, I'm going to stay in pride. I'm going to stay in anger. I'm going to stay in hatred. I'm not going to use the fruits. I'm not going to be charitable. I'm not going to be loving. I'm not going to be long-suffering. I'm not going to be faithful. I'm going to get in my emotions, my feelings. Mm-hmm. You see that?
Good, I do.
What else you got?
That's it.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I got it.
What we got online? Hey.
I got a question.
What's that?
I got a question about the end times.
Okay.
Events. In the book of Isaiah, did God send Isaiah to warn the people about what is to come?
Yeah, the Most High sent Isaiah, he sent Ezekiel, he sent Hosea, he sent Obadiah, he sent Joel, he sent all the prophets.
So it's more than one Christ?
No, there's only one Christ.
Because
there's only one anointed Savior.
Because can I read you this?
What you got? Where you at?
It's in the book of Isaiah.
Right? Give me that.
Isaiah.
You with me, right? Yeah.
Isaiah 6. And
you gotta listen to what he's talking about.
And the year
not
that
Isaiah.
came.
Give me where it says one body, one faith. Get that. Go ahead. Read where you at.
I'm gonna read
Isaiah what?
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6.
Right.
What verse?
I'm gonna read 4 through.
Read that, Major. Read it, Major.
Isaiah chapter 6, verse 4. And the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house will fill with smoke. Was filled with smoke. Verse 5. Then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips.
Right.
And I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Mm-hmm. Then flew one of the seraphims,
right,
unto me, having a live coal in his hand,
right,
which he had taken the tongues from off the altar, and he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this has touched thy lips,
right,
and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me.
Right, so what's your question on that?
So God had to send Isaiah because he said, also
he sent Isaiah to the people at that time.
Yeah, because but for Isaiah it's written for a future. It's written for a future tense.
Not all. Some of it was present. Some of it was prophecy. So just like Ezekiel, just like Hosea, Obadiah, they weren't all. It wasn't all future. Are you? So I mean, what is the question you're trying to ask?
No, I'm just trying to just get some understanding.
Right.
See if what I'm asking is correct.
Right. What is it that you're trying to ask so I can understand?
So, what I'm trying to say is did God? I'm trying to ask. Did God send Isaiah for? Well, in the last days, because it's written for a future. It's written in the future present. I can show you. Let me.
Well, you got to understand. Isaiah was sent at this time.
Right.
Right.
So this time going on.
No, not this time now. At this time in the scriptures. At that time in time, Isaiah was there with the people. He was there teaching. During that captivity, he was there teaching. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what is it that you're trying to. Are you trying to say that Isaiah is going to be sent again?
Right.
No. Where you at?
That's Nehemiah 9:27.
Because in the book of Revelations, it talks about I'm the first, and I'm the last, I'm Alpha and Omega.
That was Christ speaking.
So Christ, so did Christ, so I'm trying to put this in right.
When it talks about
because in Isaiah 46,
I'm listening. I'm just waiting for you to just formulate the question. But Isaiah the prophet, and Christ that's going to come.
right?
They're two different people. Two different men. Christ that walked the earth in his time during 70 AD and 1 AD.
Right.
That was not Isaiah. That was the anointed Savior Christ.
Because
The only begotten of the Most High.
right. The reason why I'm asking is because if you read in Isaiah, it sounds like that. No, because he praying to the Lord of hosts.
Right.
And it's a different dialogue. If you check out the dialogue,
If it's a different what?
it's a different dialogue, and how Isaiah speaking to all the other prophets, where to all the other books in the Bible, he's speaking in a different tone than everybody else.
Well, Isaiah is speaking in future, past, and present, just like Ezekiel, just like Hosea, just like Moses, just like the prophet Moses. He spoke in future, past, and present. All those curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that was Moses speaking in a future time. If you did this would happen.
Okay.
Isaiah did the same thing. He was speaking about the captivity of that time, but he was also speaking of end times. When you read like Isaiah 63, right? He was speaking about this is the thing. This is how you know. If you go to Isaiah the 63rd chapter, and it talks about, it said, who is that? We can go there real quick. Or you read about Isaiah the 14th chapter. But Isaiah 63 especially, when it says that that Yahweh Shai was going to come down, or Christ was going to come and destroy Edom, destroy Bozrah. Right? That wasn't Isaiah. That was Isaiah prophesying in the spirit about Christ.
So,
just like David did, just like Ezekiel did. There's many, just like Daniel did, right?
Okay. Now what I'm trying to say, will God do His works through man? Do His wonders through man? The perfecting age. That's what I was trying to ask you earlier.
Right.
Will God do His works through man?
Yeah, he does use man.
Okay.
He does use man. He uses man to, and we talked about this earlier. He uses man like how he's using the white man.
So
Watch. Go to where he says yeah. You know what I want? It's like 13. Watch. Let's not jump. Let's just answer one thing at a time. Because you said, does God use man? Yeah, He uses man. What is He using the white man for right now? I think it's like 13.
Chastise us.
You got it? Go to where you at. Just read it.
It's Psalms chapter 17, verse 13 and verse 14.
So does God use man? Read.
Verse 13. Arise, O Lord, and disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked.
Go ahead.
Which is thy sword.
The wicked is your what?
Which is thy sword.
Right, so the Most High uses the wicked as His sword. So He does use man. Go ahead.
Verse 14. From men which are thy hand.
Which are what?
Which are thy hand.
Right, so He does use man to do some of His bidding. But not all. Remember, if you go to Ecclesiasticus, go to Ecclesiasticus 38. So it's not just man. We don't want to be narrow-minded and one-track minded, thinking like, oh, it's just going to be man that the Most High uses for any purpose. He can use anything that He wants. He can hit you upside the head with that soda can right now.
Okay, now, would you say when Christ comes back, will He be the nigga in America, the Negro in America? If Christ comes back, because He can't be anybody else outside of the nation. He can't be Mexican, white, Arab. He has to be the Negro in America.
But we know that Christ is from the tribe of Judah. So the Negroes in America, for the most part, are from the tribe of Judah. So you could read that in Hebrews 7:14. So when he comes back, yes, he's going to look like the Bible says.
Okay.
A black man with white woolly hair.
All right.
Right. Was that it?
Nah, I might have some more questions if you still answer. I'm just going down.
Okay.
In the book, in the book of Joel too, it tells us the day of the Lord. And
right. It tells us what?
The day of the Lord.
Right. What about it?
So, if the reason why I'm asking because the book of Joel, Revelations, and Isaiah, they all talk about the same thing.
Right.
So, which means that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm saying, or I could be wrong. God sent Isaiah in the last days if it was for future purposes, because a lot of stuff is written for future tense in the Bible.
Right.
If Revelations in the book of Joel and Isaiah, I was talking about the same thing. They talk about the first and last. I'm Alpha and Omega, and
you gotta understand, it was these men prophesying in the Spirit, speaking of Christ.
Okay, so
you remember when they were all sent, when these prophets were sent, they were all sent during our captivities, right? Babylonian, Assyrian, and even now for this captivity, we're the men prophesying in this captivity, right?
Right.
Now, these men were sent to wake Israel up, just like Ezekiel. Ezekiel he's written just like Isaiah. He talks about the same things. Now, a lot of these prophets ran concurrently, and they were there together. Like Ezekiel Jeremiah was right there with Ezekiel. Jeremiah was right there with Obadiah. Yeah. They prophesied about the destruction of Edom. Now, did the destruction of Edom already happen? The so-called white man? No, they still reign the earth. But they're prophesying about things that, when you read in Revelations, John the Revelator prophesied about. Babylon being destroyed. John the Revelator talked about Babylon, which is now modern day America, being destroyed. So, what you're saying about Isaiah in the last days, no, Isaiah was sent in his time. In the last days, it's going to be Christ.
Right.
The Son, the begotten of the Most High. Not Isaiah, not any other prophet.
But
the Bible don't say that.
Oh, but it just said, whoa, who should I send?
Right, that's Isaiah prophesying in the spirit. Okay. It's no different than, go to Isaiah 63. Go to Isaiah 63. So you got to understand that David, even Moses, they all spoke of Christ. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
That they all knew about Christ?
Mm-hmm.
So
I know who Moses was.
Right, but what I'm saying is this. Do you understand that Ezekiel, Moses, all the way back to Moses, all the way back to Abraham, they knew of Christ.
Right.
Right? You know that, right? Like, okay, Moses sat there with him face to face.
Right.
Not God, but Christ. Right. So a lot of these prophecies that you read, like we're going to read one right now, that was speaking of Christ. It wasn't speaking, like Isaiah didn't go down and do this. Watch, read Isaiah 63.
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Who is this that coming from Edom?
Right now, why would he ask the question if it was him? That's a question mark there, right? Why would he ask the question if this was him? If this was Isaiah himself, why would he ask the question, who is this? He'd be like, it's me, Isaiah, coming from Edom.
Right.
Go ahead. What's up? What you gonna say?
Because like I said, because the dialogue, the reason why I'm saying is because I had a Freemason come up to me and he was telling, and he ain't telling, but I was telling him about this, and he told me that you could be on to something, young man.
You can't listen to Freemasons, bro.
That's why
they're not about the Bible. Freemasons ain't about the spirit. They don't understand the Bible. They're into Freemasonry.
Right.
Freemasonism, however you say it.
But a lot of they stuff,
it's satanic.
They get from the Bible.
No. And they might, but guess what? They change it into Satanism.
Right.
So it's not biblical. Check this out. The Christian church uses the Bible. Are they teaching the right thing? No. So you can't take everybody's word for it.
There's not much taking everybody where it just the system and how they got it set up, and then what they try to implement with the people.
Let me ask you a question. Do Masons teach that the lost tribes of Israel are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? So we don't follow them. Just like we don't follow the Christian church, just like we don't follow the Seventh-day Adventists, just like we don't follow Mormonism. We don't follow, they might use the same book, but they're not teaching what the book says. So a Mason can come up to me and say, hey, this is blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, guess what? Well, show me that through the Bible, and I'll show you that that's not the correct thought.
But the only reason why I'm saying, because it's a lot of hidden stuff within the occult.
Go to Amos. Go ahead. There's a lot of hidden stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of hidden stuff within the occult, and they try to use the Bible,
right,
to hide a lot of things. But when you read between the lines of the Bible, it's a lot of metaphysical meaning.
Well, there is no hidden lines of the Bible. First of all, let's go to Amos. Go to Amos 3 and verse 7.
Come. Amos, chapter 3, verse 7.
Let's see who the Most High reveals the hidden things of the Bible to. Read.
Surely the Most High of power will do nothing.
Come on.
But he revealeth his secret.
He does what?
Revealeth his secret.
So the Bible is written in secret. We know that. Somebody else give me Isaiah 8 and 20. Somebody else give me, come on, y'all supposed to be getting these.
Come.
So he revealed his secrets. Go ahead, but to who?
Unto his servants.
Unto his what?
Unto his servants.
Unto his what?
Unto his servants.
Now, who are the Most High's servants? Who are the Most High's servants? Who got it?
Isaiah 8:20?
No, not Isaiah 8:20.
Isaiah 44:1. I'll read it real quick. It says, Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant.
My what?
Jacob, my servant.
So Jacob is his servant. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. The 12 tribes of Israel. Not Masons, not Christians. They're not servants of the Most High. So we don't take none of their word for it. That's why we're not in a Christian church. That's why we're not in Christianity, because they lied to us. Christianity will tell you that you're a Gentile. Christianity tells you that a fat white man comes down the chimney and gives your kids Christmas presents. Christianity tells you to celebrate Easter. Christianity says that the laws are done away with. It's okay to eat pork. So he says he does what?
Come on. Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. But he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Read. The servants, the prophets. You see that? The servants are Israel.
So this have to be real life people. If this talk about Judah, right? Like Jacob. This have to be people like today, right?
Yeah, that's us.
The bloodline. Okay.
Right.
But it's like it's certain people with a different bloodline running through their veins right now, which is the chosen seed.
The Bible don't say that.
But I know the Bible don't say that,
but we got to stick to the Bible.
Right.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture had said. Give me that one. Go to St. John. We got to stick to the scriptures. Go to Isaiah 8 and 20. Read it.
Isaiah 8, verse 20.
Go ahead, read.
To the law and to the testimony.
To the law and to the what?
Testimony.
See, to the law that was given by Moses, and to all the testimonies from all the prophets. Read.
If they speak not according to this word.
If they do what?
Speak not according to this word.
If they speak not according to this word that we have in front of us, the Bible, if they speak not according to the laws and according to the testimonies that was given from the prophets, from the saints, go ahead.
It is because there is no light in them.
It's because there's no wisdom in that. The Bible don't say that. Go to St. John 7:38. The Bible don't say anything about a different bloodline outside of the bloodline that's chosen. I'll show you one thing. Read that, Isaiah, and then let's go to Ezekiel 9. Read.
St. John, chapter 7, verse 38.
Read.
He that believeth on me.
This is how we have to believe. Not by what YouTube or television or what we come up with or what's presented to us. He that believeth on me, go ahead.
As the scripture had said.
As the what?
As the scripture had said.
As the scriptures had said. Read.
Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Go to Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16.
Come. Book of Isaiah chapter 34 verse 16.
Read.
Seek ye out of the book of the Most High.
Seek you out of what?
Out of the book of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And read.
And do what?
And read.
Read.
No one of these shall fail.
No one of these shall fail. This is what we got to understand. It's talking about the prophecies from the prophets. It's talking about the law. Not one of these are going to fail. Because when Moses said that if we broke the commandments, we're going to go to slavery, ta-da! We hear. It happened. And all the other things that are set for Israel, all the promises, they're going to happen. Go ahead.
None shall want her mate.
None shall what?
Want her mate.
None shall want her mate. There's no book, there's no knowledge, there's no wisdom, there's no religion that's going to add up and match up to these scriptures. Go to Isaiah 28 and verse 8. Then after I go here, I'm going to jump into this class. Whatever other questions y'all have, y'all just going to have to hold them until Wednesday. Read.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 8.
Read.
For all tables are full of vomit.
You know what it means by the tables are full of? It says, read it one more time.
For all tables.
Some tables.
All tables.
A little bit of the tables.
All tables.
Yeah, all the tables are full of vomit. You know what that vomit is? All that doctrine that's out there, all that YouTube filth, all that Anunnaki and all the things that are not biblical, that's vomit. Can you eat vomit?
Wow.
The only things that I know that eat vomit are dogs. And pigs.
Like my gun.
Right.
You just said dog.
Right? It said the tables are full of vomit, man. All this knowledge that's out there is garbage. Read.
For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness.
Go ahead.
So that there is no place clean.
Read. Verse 9.
Verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
So the question is, if everything is vomit and filth, right? You go to the Christian church, it's vomit. It's regurgitated madness.
Yeah.
Right? You go to Islam, it's regurgitated, plagiarized Bible. Yeah. You go to all these different books and doctrine, it's regurgitated from the Bible, chewed up, swallowed down, but then vomited out because it can't be digested. Who's going to learn knowledge? And how? It's a question mark there. Read.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Go ahead.
Them that are weaned from the milk.
See, it's about being weaned from the milk. Like a baby. You don't just throw a baby on steak. You don't just throw a baby on strong meat. You put them on milk so you can grow. Go ahead.
And drawn from the breast.
And drawn from the what?
From the breast.
And they got to be drawn from, that's the way you raise a baby, a toddler. You wean them from the milk and draw them from that breast so you get the proper nutrition. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
And this is how it's done. The Bible, that's why I love it. The Bible tells you even how to read it. You want to get those mysteries? This is how you do it. Read.
Verse 10. For precept must be upon precept.
Precept must be up on what?
Precept.
Hold that. Go to Psalms 119 and verse 104.
Psalms chapter 119 verse 104.
Read.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Through thy what?
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
This is how we understand the mysteries. He said that the Most High will do nothing but reveal the mysteries to his saints. This is how. Precept upon precept. Jump back to Isaiah.
Go. Precept upon precept.
Go ahead.
Line upon line.
Read.
Line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
This is how we get it. Go to 1 Peter 2 and 2. Here a little and there a little. I might have to jump to Revelations to understand Genesis. I might have to read Jeremiah to understand Ezekiel. But I do have to know that the way the Bible speaks. Symbolic, prophetic, and historic. Yeah. Future tense, symbolism, past tense. That's how the Bible speaks to us. How do I read it? Oh, well, I got to understand what it's saying. How? Well, let me go from this precept to this precept. Just like how we're about to go to another precept. 1 Peter 2 and 2. Read.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2.
To give us understanding of what Isaiah 28 and 10 is saying. Go ahead.
As newborn babies.
As newborn what?
babies
Go ahead.
desire the sincere milk of the word.
Because newborn babies don't want hamburgers. Newborn babies ain't like, hey mom, little Shariah right here ain't crying for a Whataburger. She wants milk.
She can't digest it.
She wants milk. If you put a burger in her face, she's gonna be like, hell no. Whatever you put in her face, she's not gonna be able to eat it. That's not what she wants. She wants this sincere milk. Go ahead.
That ye may grow thereby.
Now you may what?
Grow thereby.
This is how we grow, man, through the milk. The milk grows us up to then where we can get that strong meat. Go ahead.
If so, be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming.
Go to Hebrews real quick.
Hebrews chapter 5 verse 12.
Read. Slow down so they can write it down. Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12.
God.
Read.
For the time ye ought to be teachers.
Go ahead.
Ye have need that one teach you again.
Why? Because we all got to be drawn from the milk. All that doctrine and YouTube and Christianity and Masonism and all that other stuff, that's not helping us. So we got to go back and be taught one more time. Taught again. Read.
Which be the first principles.
This be the what?
First principles.
This is the last thing I do.
First principles.
This is the first thing we got to realize and do. Go ahead.
Of the oracles of the Most High.
Read on.
And are become such as have need of milk.
Read.
And not of strong meat.
You see that? It's about the milk. It's about getting the sincere milk, the basics. Read.
Come as free and not using your liberty for
No.
Oh snap! Sorry.
Where you at? You're at Hebrews 5 and verse 12.
Flip back.
Yeah, Hebrews 5 and verse 12. Stay on it.
Come. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness.
Right, but how do we get skillful? Precept upon precept, line upon line. Ask the Most High for the wisdom. He said he gives wisdom liberally. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. Read on.
He is a baby.
He is a what?
Baby.
Come on.
But strong meat belonging to them that are of full age.
Right. How do you know a man is at full age? Well, this is how I read.
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised.
Right. You have your senses exercised in the word and through the word to be able to discern good and evil, and what's needed and what's not. Go ahead.
To discern both good and evil.
What do we got online?
There was one question on there from a sister.
It can be quick.
Want me to read it?
Yeah.
It says, my question is, I want my husband to stop meddling into the household affairs like cooking and cleaning. He is always telling me how to wash the dishes and he compete with me around the house. Am I wrong to get an attitude and want him to stay out of my woman business because he just should go fix the car?
Con, you are wrong. Go to 1 Peter 3 and verse 1. You're absolutely wrong.
Con.
You're absolutely wrong because just because it's cooking and cleaning don't mean that your husband can't give you the way he wants it done. That's madness. That's madness to think like my husband can't tell me anything when it comes to the cooking and the cleaning and how he wants things done around the house. A wise woman buildeth their house, but she still got to do it in order. Go to Corinthians 11. 2 Corinthians 11. 1 Corinthians 11. Excuse me.
1 Corinthians chapter 11
verse 1.
Come, be ye followers of me,
right?
Even as I also am of Yahushua.
Read.
Now I praise you, brother, that ye remember me in all things.
Come on.
And keep the ordinances.
And keep the what?
Ordinances.
See, there has to be order in the household. Not, nigga, I'm in the kitchen, get out the way. There's got to be order in everything between the husband and the wife. There got to be order. Somebody else get me Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 1. Read on where you at.
As I delivered them to you.
Right, go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua.
Read.
And the head of the woman is the man. The
head of the what?
The woman is the man.
So regardless, the man is the head of the household. Everything runs through him. Everything is on his radar. I don't care if you changing a diaper. If he don't like the way you do it and he tells you, You change it. You change the diaper the way he wants. I don't care if you're cooking a meal and you're perfect at it. If he say add some more salt, follow your husband. He's the head. That's the problem. There's no separation of when he's the head and when he's not because of what I'm doing. That doesn't make sense. There's no different, oh, well, I'm cooking, so he can't tell me what to do. This is my realm. No. They got to be order and subjection to your husband in all things. Read on.
Con. And the head of Yahushua is the Most High.
Right. We can't pick and choose what we want to fall under Christ under. Like, oh, yeah, I know how to fix cars, so y'all niggas can't tell me nothing. No. It doesn't work like that. It's about communication and using wisdom. A brother gives you some counsel, you take it. You use it. Did you finish that up?
Con.
Go to 1 Peter 3:1.
Con.
So there has to be order. And then we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 25:1. And then I'm going to go into class.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Being subjected to nobody?
To your own husbands.
Only when I'm not cooking.
To your own husband.
Only when I'm not cleaning.
To your own husband.
Said be in subjection to your own husband. That goes across the board in everything. In righteousness. That's everything in righteousness. It's not saying to be subject to his weed smoke or subject to his drug abuse. Like, well, he's making me smoke weed. Nah, you ain't got to be subject to that. But things in righteousness you need to be subject to. Things in order of Christ you got to be subject to. Things about the household, if he's saying cook my meal this way or do the dishes this way, like I got to do it with my rib. Stop running the water when you're doing the dishes. You're killing the damn bill. You're making the bill high. You look at the bill, it's 3 things on the bill that make the bill go up. Hot water heater, AC, and then all the other stuff. Well, you want the bill to go down, don't run the hot water the whole time you're doing dishes. Soap them up, keep the water off, soap up a few, rinse them off one time. Boom. Because y'all don't know how. Why do you think we got to tell you? Y'all don't look at things in a logical mind, man. Y'all look at things the way y'all want to do it. But then complain like the bill's high. Well, yeah, the hot water heater is taking up all the money. So the one way to do it is don't run the water when you're doing dishes. Now, the wisdom could be taken or not, but the bill's going to be high if you don't take it. But the Bible says to be in subjection to your own husband. Is that it?
Well, that was the.
Go ahead, read on.
That if any obey not the word.
That any obey what?
Not the word.
Go ahead.
They also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Right, because if you're not listening to your husband's godly conversation, then what you listening to? You listening to how the next chick got her back blown out, and now you want that. You listening to the way she did this and did that. Oh yeah, I don't listen to my husband, girl. I got this. That's what you're going to be listening to, the conversation of wives. Old wives' tales. Men don't belong in the kitchen. That's a woman's realm. And there's better chefs out there than men than women. If you want to be technical. There is no realm or woman's job or duty. I cook, my rib cooks, I clean, my rib cleans. Do we agree on everything? No. There got to be some agreement. But you're supposed to hold that order and be in subject to what he wants, bottom line. Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 1.
Go on, Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 1.
Go ahead.
In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men.
And what were they? Read.
The unity of brethren.
Go ahead.
The love of neighbors. A man and a wife that agree together.
Right, so there has to be some agreement. You guys got to come to an agreement on how you're going to delegate or how you're going to cook meals or do dishes. But if he wants it a certain way, you got to do it that way. Hopefully that answers your question.
She did say, this is hard, but I accept it. Y'all are right.
Con. There it is. Humble spirit. Humble spirit, man.
So what was that last one again?
Ecclesiasticus 25 and 1?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go to, so we're going to get into this class. You can title this class, Satan's Desires. Satan's And you know how we do these classes, man. They come about through just the everyday moving around of brothers and sisters and the everyday working of the Spirit. And the things that brothers and sisters go through, what they're gonna go through. And, you know, you gotta sit back and look at what you're doing here in, and I'm gonna talk to y'all here in this school. I know we got people online. But the brothers and sisters here in this school that are dedicating their lives and giving up and trying to do something different than what they did in the world, you got to see that there's value to that.
Absolutely.
You got to see that and understand where you've been pulled from till this point, and understand that it's a bigger purpose than just you. You were pulled not just for you, but for a nation. And you being pulled from one realm into that carnal realm into a spiritual realm, there's going to be things that are going to happen where Satan himself and his minions and angels are going to want to pull you back right over to the left side. That's what Satan desires. Go to Job. Go to Job chapter 1 verse 6.
Job chapter 1 verse 6.
Read.
Now there.
Y'all got it?
Con.
Con means yes. Kim and Isaiah. Go ahead, read.
Job chapter 1 verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord.
Right.
And Satan came also.
Who came?
Satan came also.
Right. So the sons of the Most High came, the holy angels, the righteous angels came, but also Satan came. Read.
Among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou?
What are you doing here, Satan? Now, I know we read this story a lot, but you really got to see what Satan's mission is and what his desire is to do. He said, Satan, what are you doing here? Go ahead.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth,
right,
and from walking up and down in it.
Get what is it? 1 Peter 3 and 8. He said, from walking up and down in the earth and going to and fro in it. But was it just to walk around like a nomad? Was Satan's job just, hey, I'm just walking around burning some calories? Yeah, I'm just getting exercise, Yahweh.
Wow.
What was his job? Give me 1 Peter's.
It's 1 Peter's chapter 5 and
verse 8. 1 Peter 5, my bad. I said 3 and 8. 1 Peter 5 and verse 8.
1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8.
Now this is Satan's job. Go ahead.
Be sober.
Right.
Be vigilant.
Read.
Because your adversary, the devil,
come on,
as a roaring lion.
He's like a what?
Roaring lion.
Now what is a roaring lion doing when he's walking around? Is he just walking around roaring? Or is he hungry? He's looking for something to devour. Go ahead.
Walking about, seeking whom he may devour.
See, he's walking about seeking who he may devour. But is it just any old body? Think about it. The ones in the world are already being devoured. They're already in Satan's grips. They're already going through the turmoil. You've been pulled from that. So who's he seeking?
Who resists steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
So he's seeking the righteous. He's seeking the ones that are doing the works. He's seeking the ones that were pulled from their filth.
God.
There's no other task for Satan but to get you back smoking, get you back drinking, get you back dancing, get you back prideful. That's Satan's task. His whole desire is to remove you from where you at right now, to get you about these seats.
God, man. No, I was gonna say it's like his whole job is to get you to put doubt in your head, and then once that doubt comes, then comes sin.
Don't jump.
Oh, sorry.
Don't jump.
I'm sorry.
Don't jump into that part yet. We still talking about Satan.
Gotcha.
Satan. Go back to Job.
Verse 8. The Lord said unto Satan,
right?
Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Wait, what was Job?
Hast thou considered my servant Job?
That nigga out in the world that ain't doing nothing?
Considered my servant Job.
He said, have you considered my servant? Not some nigga that ain't doing nothing. Have you considered the man that's serving me? Have you considered him?
God.
Why didn't he just sick Satan on some just regular ass nigga? Well, because the regular niggas already got Satan on them, holding them down, dragging them through the mud. He said, have you considered my servant? Now, are we not all servants of the Most High?
God.
And striving to do the service and do the will?
God.
You got to see it. Satan's whole desire, his whole job, is not to pull Joe Smo. It's to pull you from the servitude of the Most High. And not just that, we're going to go into it. He said, have you done what?
Considered my servant Job.
Go ahead.
That there is none like him in the earth.
You see that?
Nobody else. Yeah.
Ain't nobody else like this man. The whole world is the same, man. They all twerking, eating pork, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drinking, getting drunk. That's what the world is doing. They all the same. But guess what? You different. Homie, you different. Or we supposed to be. You supposed to be different.
God.
You dress different. Right?
God.
You supposed to talk different, act different, look different, sound different. Go ahead.
A perfect and upright man.
He was what?
Perfect and upright man.
Now, ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none of us perfect, but guess what? We are. I'm going to show y'all something. We're going to get there. We're going to see what made Job perfect. But it said he was perfect and upright. Why would the Most High, why would Satan want this? Why would Satan go after something that was perfect and upright? Well, yeah, to make it not perfect, to make it not upright, to taint it, to bring it back to its filth.
God.
Read on.
One that feared the Most High.
But this man fears the Most High. What you gonna do to him? Well, does he? Read.
And escheweth evil.
And escheweth evil. Go ahead. He runs from evil. He flees from sin as if one fleeth from a serpent. He ain't like, oh yeah, evil. Oh man, that's evil over there. Let me go see what's going on. I know it's evil, but let me go dive head first.
Like the scripture says, touch not, taste not, handle not.
Handle not.
Yeah.
Touch not, taste not, handle not. Flee from sin as one fleeth from a serpent.
Got it.
He's fleeing from evil. He ain't running headlong into it. You got to really see the type of man that Job was and what Satan's job was with Job. Go ahead, read.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doeth Job fear the Most High for naught?
Is he doing it for nothing? Obviously there's a reason. Go ahead.
Has not thou made a hedge about him?
Didn't you hedge him up and put a protection around him? How am I going to get him? How am I going to take him out of the protection zone? Satan even had to question the Most High, like, how am I going to get him? How am I going to, he's protected. I can't do nothing against him. Well, we got to see that in the work that we do, giving ourselves, giving up all, trying to fight for the spirit. The Most High puts a protection around us.
All right.
The Most High puts a protection around us that if you're not aware of what's going on, you'll step out of bounds. You'll step out of bounds if you don't walk the right way, if you don't stay in that protection. Go to Matthew 4 and verse 1. We are protected, but only because of what we do. Only because of what we represent. Because we know the story of Job. He told Satan, touch him, but don't kill him, right?
God.
Satan was, because if Satan had it his way, what would he have done to Job?
Oh, he would have
destroyed him.
He would have killed Job. He would have killed. That's why the Most High had to say, nah, you can touch him, but don't utterly destroy him. Touch his flesh, but don't kill him. Now, that was Job. Let's go to Christ. Go to Matthew 4 and verse 1.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Then was Yahushua led up to the Spirit into the wilderness.
Led up of the Spirit, into the wilderness. Go ahead.
Read that over.
Go ahead, read it again.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness.
Go ahead.
To be tempted of the devil.
To be what?
Tempted of the devil.
Now you got to ask yourself, why would Yahushua have to be tempted by the devil? Why did the devil choose him? Ain't he a servant of the Most High? Wasn't he sent down to do the will of the Father? Didn't he get first-hand instruction? Didn't Christ give first-hand instruction on what to do according to the will of the Most High? Did he not?
God.
Why would Satan be sent to him? See, these are the questions you got to ask yourself. You got to put yourself in the shoes of Christ and say, why is Satan being sent to me? What is his mission? What is his job? Read on.
Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered.
Go ahead.
And when the tempter
speaking of Satan, go ahead.
And when the tempter came to him,
go ahead.
He said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread.
Right. So, what was Satan trying to do here with Christ?
Tempt him.
He was trying to tempt him, but he was trying to tempt him into doing something that wasn't necessary. He was trying to tempt him into using and relying on himself other than relying on the Spirit and relying on the Most High. If you hungry, man, turn these rocks into bread. Go ahead and eat, baby. Don't let the Most High provide for you. Provide for yourself. Let me get you out of the hedge. Let me get you on the left side real quick so I can deal with you. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
But Christ, he stayed in the hedge. Yahushua used the wisdom and stayed in the protection. Y'all see this? Read on.
But by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High.
Come on.
Verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up.
And what did he use to stay in the hedge, in the protection? What did he use?
Scripture.
No. Surely he used R&B, rap, hip hop. Surely he quoted Drake. Surely he was like, nah, nigga, YOLO. Surely Christ used the wisdom of the world to combat Satan.
But by every word.
By what?
But by every word.
Come on.
That proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High.
No, but he used the words that proceeded out of mouth, the words of his mom.
Of the Most High.
So Christ's mom didn't have no influence.
Of the Most High.
Christ's parents.
Of the Most High.
Read on.
Verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city.
So here goes Satan one more time. Let me see how I can get him. Let me see how I can take him out to protection. Let me try to get my desire. So now he takes him to the holy city. Go ahead.
And seated him on a pinnacle of the temple.
And put him on the top of it all. Go ahead.
And said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High.
If you really the Son of God.
Cast thyself down.
Yeah, go ahead and throw yourself down, man. Throw yourself off this pinnacle, off this top of these mountains. Read.
For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee.
Right, so Satan, he caught on quickly. He was like, well, I couldn't get him with the carnal stuff. So let me use scriptures too. Because what Satan did was quote a scripture, if y'all didn't know that. He said it is written. He went right back into Psalms. If thou dash thy foot against the stones, the angels will bear him up. So Satan was like, well, damn, let me get on his page real quick. Let me get on what he's on. Because I got to get him. My desire has to be accomplished. So he said what?
He shall give his angels charge concerning thee.
Go ahead.
And in their hands they shall bear thee up.
Hold on real quick, God. Breathe. You need to handle that after class or get out. Get out, or I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not arguing
then
with you.
Then get out. Go, no, he's in class, sis.
Okay.
We ain't dealing with that right now.
I'm asking for the cribs.
Well, go get them and do what you gotta do. Go ahead.
Attitude, like,
read on, I.
And in their hands they shall bear thee up.
They shall what?
Bear thee up.
Go ahead.
Lest as any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Go ahead, read on.
Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt.
He said it is what?
Written again.
So Christ stayed in the same mode. He stayed in the same thing that he knew was going to keep him.
God.
He didn't deviate. He didn't say, well, damn, he keeps coming at me. Let me try something different. Yahushua said, well, it's written again. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power.
Read on.
Verse 8. Again, the devil talketh him up into an exceeding high mountain.
Right? So this is a third instance. A third instance where this righteous man, the representation of the Most High in all his glory, is being tempted by this devil. Go ahead.
And showeth him all the kingdoms of the world.
And every time he went and tried to tempt him, he gave him something greater and greater and greater, all for his own benefit. All for this, because none of this stuff was going to benefit Yahushua. This was all for Satan and his will, his purpose. That's what y'all got to understand, man. Satan ain't dealing with you for your benefit. He's dealing with you to accomplish his goal, his desire. All the things that are presented to you to pull you out of wisdom is for his desire. Go ahead.
And the glory of them, verse 9, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Yahushua unto him,
go ahead.
Get thee hence, Satan.
Wait, he said, let's kick it, man. Let's go have a drink.
Get thee hence, Satan.
Well, man, let me see what you're really talking about. Show me more.
Get thee hence, Satan.
See, he immediately was like, man, get behind me. Get away from me. He didn't entertain it. He didn't check to see, man, let me see if this nigga's telling the truth or not. Let me see what else he got in store. Oh, well, you gonna give me that? Well, you know, I want that, but I want this too. He said, get thee hence. Because he understood Satan's purpose, his job. His job wasn't to give him the world. Satan's job ain't to give you the world. How? You already had it. You already had the world. When you was rolling around like a little pig in your filth, you had it. You had the whole world to your disposal. So how is Satan going to come back and give you something better than what you had out there? Does it even make sense?
Wow.
Go to Luke chapter 22 and verse 31. Y'all got to wake up and see this, man. Y'all got to stop letting these spirits play with y'all and drag you and bounce you around and play with your brain. 1 minute we in there, 1 minute we not. 1 minute I'm going to use the spirit, use the wisdom. The next minute I'm going to rely on something carnal to get me through a spiritual battle. It don't work. You fall that way. Satan wins that way. The enemy, Satan, the devil, I don't care what you want to call him. But that's how he wins. Because this is his ultimate goal. Luke 22 and verse 31. Read.
Come. Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Most High said.
This, and the Lord said, Yahushua, this was Christ speaking.
Come.
Go ahead, read it again.
And Yahushua said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you.
Satan what?
Hath desired to have you.
Why was Peter Satan's desire? Wasn't Peter the cornerstone? Wasn't Peter the first apostle chosen? Why would Satan want him? And for what purpose? Read on.
That he may sift you as wheat.
That he may do what?
Sift you as wheat.
See, Satan wants to sift the good out of you. He wants to sift you. You know what it means to sift? Somebody look it up. What it means to sift. What you got? Damn, demons, man.
Sift. It says, put through a sieve,
right?
So as to remove lumps or large particles.
Right.
Examine thoroughly so as to isolate that which is most important or useful.
He wanted to do what?
Isolate that which is most important or useful.
This is what Satan desires. To sift the things that are important and useful for this work out of you. To sift you away from the love of Christ. To sift you away from love, peace, charity. To sift you away from a sound mind. Now, think about it. If he's sifting you out of goodness, if he's sifting you out of charity, if he's sifting you out of love, where is he bringing you?
Evil. Obstruction.
To sift, to separate, to examine minutely. You ever see when they go gold mining back in the day, and they would scoop up the dirt and they would look, and because they're trying to sift the dirt from the gold. Satan is trying to do that to you. He's trying to sift all the spirit out of you. While Yahweh Shai and the wisdom in Christ and the Most High is trying to sift the world out of you, the old man, Satan is trying to sift you a different way. Y'all have to see it. Now, you got to understand, how does it happen? How does one how does one get sifted back into their filth?
By temptation.
Obviously, by temptation. It does happen over time, right? When you let yourself get into a spirit of, I don't give a damn, autopilot, my body is here but my mind ain't. Yeah, it'll happen.
Could be like the old things that you're infatuated with.
It's the what?
The old things that you're infatuated with.
Jermaine, what were you going to say?
You give into it. You willfully
give
into
it.
it.
We're going to go there.
Your weaknesses.
It's definitely your weaknesses, but think about it. I want y'all to think about it. Jessica.
It's like the devil, whatever scripture that is, it's like the devil, he watches your actions, but he doesn't know your heart. I don't know the verse.
Right.
It's like he's watching everything.
You saying the devil or the Most High?
The devil is watching your actions. It's a verse. I don't know where it is. And it's like the devil is watching your actions, but only the Most High knows your heart. So it's like he sees what it is you like and what it is, like he knows how to trap you almost.
Yeah, he does. Satan will present to you. Satan himself will present to you, just like how he did Christ. Why do you think we went through that story? He was presenting things to Christ, but see, he didn't understand about Christ that Christ wasn't about that. See, our battle is different because where are we coming out of? We're coming out of our temptations. We're coming out of our lusts. We're coming out of the filth. So now it's easier for Satan to say, well, remember how that felt? Remember how it felt to get high? Remember how it felt to have a bunch of dudes just hitting it and not teaching you nothing? Remember how it felt to have liberty? Remember how it felt to have no standard, how good it felt? Satan is doing that. He's presenting to you all the things that felt good. And it's now up to you to say, well, damn, he's right. Let me go back and get those things. Or get deeper, get hence behind me. You're an offense to me. See, it's up to each individual. But see, you're not going to tell Satan, get thee behind me, if you want the things that he's presenting.
God.
This is how he sifts you. Go to Matthew 13 and verse 18. This is how he sifts the good out of you. This is how he sifts the good things that are needed to build the kingdom, to build your spirit. Read Matthew 13 and verse 18.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not.
So, for new brothers and sisters in here, y'all are hearing this word. Now, if you don't understand, there's nothing wrong with that, but ask questions. Ask questions. So you can understand, so that Satan don't come to you and do this. Read.
Then come the wicked one.
Then comes who?
The wicked one.
The wicked one in any form. Satan comes in any form. He comes in the form of your mom, your dad, your uncle, the granny and them that you used to love, the aunt that used to raise you, the boss at work. Satan is going to come in any one of those forms.
Yes, sir.
And do what? Read.
And catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
Yeah, he's going to sift out. He's going to sift that seed out of the dirt. He's going to dig in with that sifter, with that seed. And he's going to sift that seed from that dirt so it don't take root.
Where in Matthew are we at?
Where we at?
Matthew chapter 13, verse 19.
Read it again. Read it again from the top.
Come. Verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth it away that which was sown in his heart.
Why? Because Satan desires to sift you. He don't want this word to grow in you. He don't want the good spirit of the Most High to grow in you. He don't want you to be unified with your husband. He don't want you to be unified with sisters, with brothers. He don't want you to build in righteousness. Read on.
This is he which received the seed by the wayside.
Go ahead.
But he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
And then you got the next one that gets the word, and what happens? They're joyful. Oh, Christ is black. I'm Barakatah Yahweh. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 21. Yet hath he not root himself.
He has no what?
Not root himself.
See, there's no root in himself. Why? Because I'm double-minded. Why? Because I'm unsure. Why? Because everything else is playing on me. Why? Because I didn't let go of the things of the world to be able to take root. I'm still rooted somewhere else. You can't be rooted in two places. Y'all know that, right?
God.
You can't serve God and mammon. You can't serve two masters. You can't say, oh, well, I'm rooted in the world still. I love those things, but let me see what this Christ thing is about. It don't work like that. And Satan knows it. He's like, oh yeah, he's still rooted in weed. He's still rooted in whoremongering. She's still rooted in partying and dancing and being free and liberal. Pants still got a hold on her. Satan knows these things. So you won't take root. Read on.
Verse 21. Yet had he not root in himself.
Go ahead.
But do it for a while.
And you'll be around for a while. You'll kick it. You'll be able to enjoy a couple feasts. See what we about. Have a few fake spiritual conversations. You'll be there. But what does it say in Jude? These are spots at the feast. Clouds with no water, like a tempest. You there, but you ain't really there. So you'll be around, man. You'll be around. You'll take a few orders from your husband. You'll submit a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm submitting. See, I'm cooking meals. I'm listening. But inside you, what's rooted is not the word. What you're still rooted in is the rudiments of the world. Give me that one. No, he's gonna get it from me. Read on.
Con. For when tribulation or persecution arises,
because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be tribulation and persecution in this truth, man. It's gonna be trials and tribulations. If not, we be in church. If not, we might as well all just pack it up and be Christians.
God.
Through much tribulation you shall enter into the kingdom. How does that tribulation present itself? Well, it's going to present itself when your husband is in one mind and you're not. When your husband is in the mind of the spirit and you're not. There's going to be trials and tribulations there, man. Why? Because now I got to kick against the pricks. I'm causing my own trial. I'm causing my own tribulation. A man's trials are in his reasoning. What's your reasoning? Is it biblical? No, it's worldly. So now here's the trial that you got to go through Here's the trial that you put yourself through. Now there's other trials and tribulations. There's other persecutions for the word, for Christ's sake. We know we're going to have to go through that. If you hear regardless. But understanding the word and not letting Satan catch it out of you, you understand, I got to go through trials for Christ. I got to suffer for Christ's sake. Read on.
Because of the word, by and by, he is offended.
He's what?
Offended.
Go ahead, read on. Hold that for me. Read on.
Verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns.
Read.
Is he that heareth the word.
Go ahead. So you hear the word, you get the wisdom, you get the knowledge. But what's going on with you? Read.
And the care of this world.
See, but the cares of the world. And let's be clear. The cares of the world you already was pulled out of. You was already pulled from the cares of the world, man. This is what we got to understand. You got to see what Christ has pulled you from. You got to see what the wisdom and using it and applying it has pulled us from. Not just y'all, me too. I ain't nobody. Read on.
And the deceitfulness of riches.
And the what?
Deceitfulness of riches.
Ain't that what Satan tried to tempt Christ with? I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world. I'll make you exceedingly rich. But it said that it was the deceitfulness, right? Or was it the promise?
The deceitfulness.
Right, because those riches are deceitful. They are deceiving. Satan is here to deceive you. He's here to deceive you with the things that you think you want. These riches are deceiving us. Man, I want the fancy car. I want this. But not understanding that there's nothing wrong with having a nice car, house. There's nothing wrong with these things. But how you going to go about getting it? Am I going to step out of the hedge and step back into the world to get the riches that they're going to come to me anyway? The riches, if it's about carnal, they're going to come regardless. They're going to come, they're going to go. Come, go. Come, go. Is it about women? Am I going to step out of the hedge to go get me a woman? Or to get me a man? Or am I going to stay the course and let the Most High provide it? That's why it says the deceitfulness of riches. It's deceitful. Somebody look that word up. You're deceived by it's like the carrot on a stick. It's like and it's not just a carrot, it's a golden carrot. You're like, damn, that's a golden carrot, huh? Look, I'm about to get this car, this house, this job. I'm about to move to where I want to be at. I'm going to move and everything's just going to be joyous when I move. When I step out of wisdom, it's going to be all good. What you got?
Guilty of or involving deceit, deceiving or misleading others.
Wait, it says misleading. You're misled by these riches.
Synonyms.
Dishonest.
Untruthful.
Come on.
Lying. Mendacious. Insincere.
You know why? Because to get these riches outside of the spirit, you gotta lie, you gotta cheat, you gotta steal. Ain't that what you did in the world?
Come on.
You had to lie, rob, cheat, steal, murder, kill. What else?
I just want to say these two more that caught my eye.
Go ahead.
False and
man, false promises, man. Satan delivers false hope, false promise.
Unprincipled.
And unprincipled, no discipline, no standard. What you got, Jermaine?
Okay, we got two-faced. Got
What you say? Because when you say somebody two-faced, that means they switch up.
Yeah.
Right? That gold is gonna turn to rust.
Don't nobody want to be called two-faced.
Yeah, you call somebody two-faced, that's because you switching up. 1 minute you here, 1 minute you're not. 1 minute you with me, 1 minute you're not. 1 minute you're reliable, 1 minute you're not reliable. These riches are two-faced, man. It looks like gold from afar, but when you put it in your hand, it's fool's gold. That's that middle of the mall gold. It ain't that real gold. It's that middle of the mall, but that's how Satan does it. That's how he gets you away. Because he'll present your lusts, your temptations right to you, like, oh, look at him. He got nice abs and arms, girl. I know my man is there teaching me with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding how to be a good woman, and he's trying to be a good man and build our family, but he got guns. Sancho got guns, but Sancho will go upside your damn head when you talk back to him. Sancho will pump drugs in your arm. Sancho gonna have you celebrating Christmas while he's Sanchoing down the next chick. See, that's what Sancho brings, guns. But Sancho is trying to deceive you. Sancho man. Oh, that's, girl, my family, man. You know, they said they gonna take care of me. If I just come back, man, my family, they gonna be with me. And then as soon as you get there, your family's like, up, you on your own, nigga. Or they'll put up with you for a little bit. Yeah. They'll give you a good 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. They'll give you some time, but then when their life problems start to kick in, guess what they are good at? Putting that wall up and dealing with their stuff. They ain't gonna deal with your stuff. But it's my family. It's my mama. She said, you know, if I come back, if I be around more, she gonna help. She gonna take care of me. She said it. She said it. But is she gonna do it? Hell no. Because the world is not about loving in word. Or excuse me, the world is about loving you in word, meaning they'll talk a good one. But are they about deeds? Are they about truth? No. The world is about telling you, hey, we got you. We got your back. Then when you need somebody to get your back, they let you fall right on it. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Go on.
We have to see what Christ has pulled you in through the wisdom. He didn't pull you into fake hope and false dreams. He didn't pull you into deceitfulness. He pulled you into a promise. He pulled you into love, into charity. Where we at?
That was after the definitions.
Read verse 22 again. Matthews 18:22.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 22.
Go ahead.
He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of the world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word.
Go ahead.
And he becometh unfruitful.
Yeah, man, you get stagnant up out here. You become stagnant, and Satan sees it. He's like, oh, she's wavering. Oh, she's getting oh, I see it. That brother's wavering. Let's go strike a blow. He's wavering, he's teeter-tottering. You know why? Because his battle might be money. And I see that he's wavering because he might not be making the money that he's used to making in the truth. Let me present to him a different way. Well, my mama said I could go get a job working for the family. Well, she's wavering. You know, her and her husband are on the right page right now. They're not agreeing. Let me use that to propel her to move on around. Let me use that to push her away. Because that's what she wants. That's what he wants. Let me choke away the word, the things that's going to keep you and keep your mind strong, because that's what the word does. Why you think it has to be choked away? So that can't be your anchor. The word is supposed to be the anchor. Wisdom and knowledge is the stability. Nothing else, man. Isaiah 33 and verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6.
The word has to be choked out because this is your stability. Read.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
Right, this is the only thing that makes you stable. And what else?
And strength of salvation.
So if the word ain't there, what is being taken away from you?
Strength of salvation.
What's being taken?
Strength of salvation.
Let me say it the right way. What's being taken?
Strength of salvation.
This is what you're being taken away from. Your salvation. Satan knows how to do it. He knows how to do it if you're not rooted. How else does he know how to do it? When you want to hang on to that old man, when you want to hang on to the old things, the old life, the old woman, when you want to hang on to the old lust, Satan is like, oh yeah, well, she never let that go. She never let go of lesbianism. She never let go the weed smoke. He never let go the whoremongering. He didn't let that go. So what does he do? The whole time you're enduring for a while, he's always letting things pop up in your head to build on you not being around. The whole time you're trying to endure, the whole time you endured for a while, what are you doing? You're kicking against what's being brought to you. You're kicking against wisdom. Let's put away the pants, sisters. Pants? No, I don't want to put away. But no, let's talk a different way. But nobody ain't gonna tell me how to talk. Nobody ain't gonna tell me how to move. Well, no, let's deal with the children. Nobody's gonna tell me how to have a relationship with my children. But you don't know how. That's why you gotta be taught. But the whole time you like, nigga, I ain't trying to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I'm gonna do things the way I know how. I'm gonna do what the old man is telling me. Go to Colossians. Go to Colossians 3 and verse 9. You never, and Satan knows these things. Satan is our accuser. What is he accusing us of? Well, he's accusing you to the Most High of not really changing. When he accused Job and trying to get Job, what was he saying about Job? Like, Job ain't really down for you. Does Job serve you for naught? Does he fear you for nothing? Don't you got a hedge about him? He ain't really about it. Satan is doing the same thing to you. When you're getting all them blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings, when you're getting your mind right, when you learn how to deal with your husband, deal with your children, deal with your family, when you're getting that filth peeled off of you, Satan is like, nah, bro, she ain't really about that. Watch, I'm going to show you. Because she held on to the old woman. She's still wanting to glory in her filth. He's still wanting to go out and smoke weed and bang everybody. He's still wanting to be an independent man. Watch, let me show you. Let me just throw this little variable in there for him. Let me present a different way to him and watch him follow it. Watch her follow it. Read.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 9. Lie not one to another, see that ye have put off the old man with his deeds.
This was the whole purpose. Not to have the wisdom and be the same person. It was about putting off the old man. See, but Satan is like, no, I'm going to sift that old man right back into you. I'm going to sift out the good you've been getting. I'm going to sift out the wisdom so that old man can shine. Go ahead.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him.
No. Read it, verse 9, one more time. Did you read the whole scripture? In verse 9? Yeah, read it one more time.
Lie not one to another. See that ye have put off the old man with his deed.
Because you know how Satan knows you didn't put off the old man? He looks at what you do. He's looking at the way you're moving. Well, all right, sis. It's time to put away the pants. You've been around long enough. Let's put away the pants. Well, why I gotta not wear pants? He's looking at the way you move with the wisdom. When things are presented to you, do you have a willing mind, or are you gonna fight? You gonna kick against the pricks? You gonna fight the truth, or are you gonna fight for it? Okay, let's change our conversation. Let's be charitable. Let's be loving. Let's hash out problems the way the Bible says it. Well, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to talk anything. I'm not going to talk anything out. I'm not going to use wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I'm going to just be in my feelings. Satan is like, yeah, see, told you, Yahweh. I told you she wasn't no different. Let me get her. Let me get him. I told you he wasn't different. He wants to handle things the old way. He wants to be carnal and sensual. He wants to be emotional. Told you he didn't change. See? Look. I didn't even do nothing. Look at him. Let me get him. Get him. Get her. He's looking at the deeds, man.
Go ahead.
Read on. And is it just the deeds? Is it just the deeds? Read.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him.
Ephesians 4 verse 22.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse
22.
Verse 22.
So So you were supposed to put on this, and we go through this scripture all the time, but I want y'all to look at it in a different perspective with this class. How the new man and the old man and the deeds of the old man come back to haunt you. If you really, truly don't mortify, give me that one. It's in Rome. It's in Romans. Read on.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22.
Go ahead.
And you put off concerning the former conversation.
That you put off the what?
The former conversation.
So what was supposed to change?
The former conversation.
But Satan is like, see, she's still talking about the same old stuff. She's still on R&B music. She's still on rap. She's still on what Cardi B's talking about. She's still on what she talked about in the world. Christ, you pulled her from this, but she don't want that. She wants to be about the old stuff. She wants to be about the old woman. He wants to be about the old man. Look, just listen to when he talks. Listen to what he's talking about. He's talking foolishness. Satan's the whole time is sitting there accusing you to the Most High and saying and pointing out, look at the way he talks. Look at the way he moves. Look at the way he thinks. He ain't using no wisdom. Look at the way he deals with his wife. He's still the old man yelling, screaming, brutish. Look at the way she deals with her husband. High-minded, prideful, hateful, no true love, no sincerity, unreliable, dishonest, and there's one more word. No loyalty. No loyalty. No loyalty to the Most High. No loyalty to the Word. No loyalty to the mission. No loyalty to Christ. The whole time Satan is like, look, she's not loyal. He's not loyal. Why? Because he's not using the tools that you gave her to be better. That you gave him to be better. She's not realizing what you pulled her from. He don't care what you pulled him from. He's not seeing the filth that he got drawn away out of.
God.
Read on.
Which is corrupt.
Wait. So the former conversation was holy.
It's corrupt.
It was charitable.
Corrupt.
Peaceful.
Corrupt.
See, that former conversation was garble.
Absolutely.
It was trash. So why are we still in the former mind? Why are we still in our former deeds? Well, you are because you like it. There ain't no way around it. You still operate in the same way the old man because you like it. And Satan knows you like it. So it's easy for him to get you up out of here. He just gonna give you what you want. And make it look shiny and new. He gonna take an old toy. You ever hear of regifting? He regifting old stuff and putting it in new wrapping. And you fall for it like, oh, that's something new. Let me go check that out. It looks good. Let me go see what that's about. Ta-da! Same old problem, same old way of doing things, same repercussions. Don't y'all get that? It's the same repercussions, man. The same ass whooping. Aren't y'all tired? Jessica.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but can y'all help me get the one scripture where he's talking about forgetful hearers?
Yeah, he'll find that for you. Yeah, he'll find it for you. Read on.
According to the deceitful lust.
Wait. Here's that word again.
God.
Here's that word again, man. According to the good lust.
Deceitful lust.
Now we looked up the word deceitful. False, no value, right? Trickery, two-face. Because that lust got two sides to it. Oh, it feels good, but guess what? The pain that comes with it is hurtful. Yeah, I'm going to be able to go sleep with whoever I want and lay with whoever I want and smoke what I want. But what scars am I going to pick up along the road? What regrets are going to be seeped into my spirit? See, that's the deceitfulness of the lust. It feels good. But when that lust take hold and that sin starts to butt up and you start catching that whooping, here it is. Satan didn't tell you about the ass whooping.
Quick, something that happened today just reminded me of what the scripture is saying. real quick, cause this guy actually came and he was just gassing like he worked for contracting, and he was just like, yeah, man, I got these 2 kids that's coming straight out of high school, going to make $24 an hour. Showed me like the emails and all of this.
Right.
And I'm like, man, straight out of high school, like, how's this all going on?
Right.
And he's just showing, he's like, yeah. Then he showed me something else, like, man, this could be you.
Oh yeah, that's always. Oh, this could be you, man.
Yeah, he out of his own mouth, like, Shock, Derek.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this could be you. I say, man, that's, yeah. He was like, yeah, let me show you the numbers. He went through all the numbers of, oh man, you could be a 6-figure guy. You know what I mean? Having this amount, X amount of dollars in a year. He was like,
right.
yo, here's my card. And I got to showing them, you know, what we had going on. Brother just, all this money that he's making, but he wouldn't even like, you know, even break bread with his own brethren. After trying to show me all of this of what
because just like Satan ain't gonna break bread with Christ. Just like how Satan is combating Christ, those spirits are gonna always try to come to us and present $1 million dreams, man.
Right.
But they don't tell you what's attached to that. That's the thing. They don't tell you what you got to give up. They don't tell you what you're being removed from. Remember, we got to put ourselves in the mind of, what have I been taken from? And then when I've been taken from that, what am I going back to? What have I been taken from, and what am I going back to? What am I trying to be drugged back into? Because I'm going to tell y'all something. What you were taken from and where Satan is trying to pull you is a lot worse. If y'all didn't know that. It's a lot worse. We gonna see. So, read on.
Verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness.
And this is what Satan don't want. He don't want that new man or woman. He don't want you to be re-established in righteousness. He don't want you to obey your husband. He don't want unity, charity, love, peace. He don't want these things. Satan wants to keep you in your filth and in your mire. Read on.
And true holiness.
See, true holiness. Not that fake holy. I go to church on the weekends. I say my prayers every other couple of Sundays and I'm good. He wants true righteousness. True commitment. He don't want that fake love. He don't want that they love me with their mouth, but their heart is far from me. He don't want that. He don't want, like Jessica was asking for the scriptures, forgetful hearers. You get it for her?
God, it's James.
James what?
James chapter 1 verse 22.
James 1 and verse 22.
God. Verse 20.
You don't got to go there. But that's what Satan wants. He wants you to forget. He wants you to be a forgetful hearer. So what he'll do is, as soon as you hear the word, somebody will pop up and be like, "Hey, we'll offer you a job. It only takes a year. You'll be a millionaire." If you think of, if you just use just sensibility and think, well, if that was the case, how come everybody ain't doing it? Every time the little people come to me, I'm like, then how long you been doing it? Oh, 3 years? Then how come you're not a millionaire? How come you ain't making 6 figures? Why are you still running around the mall trying to recruit people to do what you can't? You got to look at it sensibly and just use wisdom. Go to Ephesians 3:17.
Ephesians chapter 3 verse 17. That Yahushua may dwell in your hearts by faith.
By what?
By faith.
See, Satan is trying to sift the faith out of you. He's trying to sift the love of Christ out of you. Read.
That ye being rooted and grounded in love.
In what?
In love.
In what?
In love.
See, he's trying to remove the love from your heart. The little bit of love that you just started getting, he's like, no, we don't need that love. We want to take you back to the faith, the world love. That love that causes pain. That love where I love you, but I'm going to dot your I. He wants you to go back to that love. He don't want you to deal with true love and charity. See, Satan is removing charity from you. True holiness. Read it one more time.
That Yahushua may dwell in your heart.
Because that's not what Satan wants. He wants to dwell in you. He wants you to be his host. He wants you to be his minion. Now I need this body to do my bidding. Christ, you got angels and beings. Let me get them, so I can dwell in him and subject him or her to all the filth. Go ahead.
By faith.
By what?
By faith.
To take away your faith. What else? Read.
That ye being rooted and grounded.
You see, he don't want you to be rooted and grounded in Christ. He wants you to be rooted and grounded in the world and in your lust and in the old man, the old woman. Go ahead.
In love.
And most importantly, I already said it, that love, that charity. Go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. You know why the charity is so important? Why Satan don't want you to have love? Because he doesn't want you to have the capability to work things out. He doesn't want you to have the capability to look past issues with other people. He doesn't want you to have the capability to do what Christ wants you to do with a pure heart, with a pure mind, because that's what love and charity brings. Watch, let's read it. 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 4. Charity suffereth long.
Wait, charity is impatient and don't give a damn.
Charity suffereth long.
See, if I don't have charity, I'm not going to suffer through what's necessary. I'm not going to put up with nobody's BS. I'm going to be short-tempered. I'm going to be ill-mannered. I'm going to be hateful. So when you tick me off or make me mad or offend me, guess what? I'm not going to do what the Bible says. I'm going to do what my emotions say, which is shut down, not talk, not care. Now imagine if we all roll like this. How can we build a nation? That's what Satan wants. He wants you to not have charity, to not care for your nation. Read.
Charity suffereth long.
Go ahead.
And is kind.
It's what?
It's kind.
It's mean-hearted.
And is kind.
See, he don't want you to be kind to your brother, to your sister, to your husband, to your wife, to your children. Go ahead.
Charity envieth not.
See, Satan loves envy. Satan himself is envious. He hates the fact that you're coming to righteousness. He hates the fact that you're changing from the old man and old woman. So he's like, let me snatch the charity out of his heart. Let me snatch the love out of her heart so she could be envious and hateful. Go ahead.
Charity vaunteth not itself.
Read.
Is not puffed up.
It's not what?
Is not puffed up.
See, that pride, man. Ain't no pride in charity. In love. There's no pride there. Because love is about lowering yourself and condescending down to bring others up. That's what charity, true charity is about. Now, I'm too good for y'all. I'm too good to talk things out. See, that's when you get puffed up. That's what Satan wants. You to puff yourself up and harden your head to the point where you can't be talked to no more. You no longer want to deal with anything. Nothing is fixable or repairable. Read on.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5. Doth not behave itself unseemly.
You see that? Behaving yourself unseemly. Just any old way with no standard. Satan don't want you to have a standard.
Unseemly, indecent.
See, charity doesn't behave indecently. What else?
Not fit.
Not fit. Because if you're supposed to hold a standard of Christ, if you're a woman that's supposed to fall under the order of your husband, and a man that's supposed to fall under the order of Christ, Satan don't want that.
Go ahead.
He wants you to behave disorderly in any old way. Chaotic. If the Most High is the author of peace, then what is Satan?
Confusion.
The author of confusion. He don't want peace and charity. Go ahead.
Seeketh not her own.
See, charity ain't about itself, but Satan is. Satan is about what you can get on your own, by yourself, just you. And then when you get it, it's all yours. Nobody else can get a piece. That's my ball. Nobody can play with it, or so I'm going home. When I get upset, I'm taking my ball and I'm leaving. This is how Satan wants you to behave, man. He He wants you to behave in that selfish, non-charitable, non-caring, non-loving mind state. So that we can't build this nation. So that we can't get up out of these curses. So that we can't teach our children a better way. Satan don't want your children to be profitable. Don't y'all see that?
God.
Satan is pulling you so that your children can be just like you. Hateful. Prideful. Non-giving. Non-hospitable. That's what Satan wants from your children. Non-hospitable. Read on.
Is not easily provoked.
It's not what?
Is not easily provoked.
See, charity ain't provoked in an ill way. Because the patience of the saints is not frustrated. It says the patience of God is not easily frustrated. It's not provoked. But Satan wants you to be irritable and bitter as hell. He wants you women to be bitter at your husbands and irritated. Every little thing he do, he wants you to look at that like, man, this nigga irks me. Every little thing she do, he wants you to look at her like, man, why she got to do that? She irks me. That's what Satan wants. For you to be irritated with each other. For us to be irritated with each other. He don't want us to endeavor to keep the unity and the bond of the spirit of peace. He don't want us to forbear one another. He wants you to be irritated.
You know, one synonym to irritable is impatient. It's touchy, gruesome, grouchy, angry.
Weren't you grouchy in the world? You were Oscar the damn Grouch. You were the wet blanket. You were Scrooge. You were all those characters in the world. Christ is calling you to peace. He's calling you to a mental clarity.
Sir.
Satan don't want that for you. The world don't want that for you, man. The world wants you to be just like them because misery loves company. Misery loves company, man. Misery needs company. And you're the company if you don't keep your mind right. Read.
Thinketh no evil.
Wait, what?
Thinketh no evil.
Yeah. Satan is trying to take away that pure mind. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Rejoiceth not in iniquity.
You see this, man? This is all about charity. Satan ain't about this. He wants the iniquity. When there's discourse in a house, Satan is right in the middle, dancing around. Yeah, I won. When there's discourse amongst brothers, Satan is right in the middle like, man, I love this. Go ahead.
Rejoiceth not in iniquity.
Come on.
But rejoiceth in the truth.
Read.
Verse 7. Beareth all things.
See, Satan don't want you to be able to bear and endure nothing. He wants you to go through things and fall apart. And then blame the things you go through for you not being around. He wants to be able to offer you your temptation, offer you your lust, and you fall to it. And then you say, well, damn, it was my thing. It was my lust that did it. No, you're going to say it was the truth that did it. You ain't going to say it was your lust. You're going to say it was the truth that did it. I didn't like that. There was nothing there for me. That's what Satan wants you to not bear the trials and the tribulations that we have to go through. Go ahead.
Believeth all things.
Come on.
Hopeth all things. Endureth all things.
You see that? Satan don't want you to endure to the end. He that endureth unto the end shall be saved. Saved. Satan don't want you to endure, man. He wants you to endure for a little while. It said it in Matthew 18. He wants that when the word is sown in your heart, he comes and snatches it away. Let's just give her a little bit. Let's just give her a year or two. Let's just give him a year or two. That's what Satan wants. Y'all got to see it. Read on.
Verse 8. Charity never faileth.
But this is what we got to understand, man. That charity, love, it don't fail. Real love, the love of Christ, the laying down your life for your brothers, for your sisters, that don't fail. What else is he trying to take? Go to Ecclesiasticus 25:1, and we read it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before the Most High and men.
See, this is what is beautiful in the eyes of the Most High and men. The sons of God. This ain't beautiful to Satan. Satan hates this. If the Most High loves it, Satan hates it. Understand that. It's not even hard. Satan is enmity with God. Satan is the counter. He's the opposite of the Most High. So if the Most High loves this, Satan hates it. Read.
The unity of brother.
The what?
The unity of brother.
Right, because if I can take your charity, that means I can take your long suffering. I can take the fact that you're supposed to endure. I'm going to take the fact that you're supposed to condescend and understand where a person is coming from. If I can take that, then guess what? There is no unity of brethren. It's gone. It's gone in your charity. Go ahead.
The love of neighbors.
The love of what?
Neighbors.
See, all this unity is gone because the world don't love their neighbors. They don't love to unify. Who were you unified with in the world when you were out there? You were unified with you were unified with yourself and what you wanted. The only thing you unified with was that blunt to your lips, that bottle to your lips. You unified with that pride. You unified with that hate. You unified with that selfishness. That's what you unified with. Satan is trying to reunify you with that. He's like, nah, man, listen. It's like he's trying to offer you a sack full of goodies. And it's pride, hate, envy, jealousy, murdering, backbiting. He's trying to reunify you with your past, man. Like it's a good thing. Like it's some lost children that he's trying to bring back into your life. Read on.
A man and a wife that agree together.
And he definitely don't want this. Because if we agree together, then guess what? Nothing can break us down. If we agree together, then guess what? We're going to be able to get these kids in line. We're going to be able to get other people in line. We're going to be able to get other people's kids in line. We're going to be able to build a nation. Satan is like, hell no, we don't want no agreement. So guess what? I'm going to come through you, Eve, and sow discord and doubt. I'm going to show you your past and show you how good it was. Remember how it felt? Remember how that felt, girl? Right? Remember how good it was? When Sancho Man just caressed you and bowed down to you and did whatever you wanted? Remember how good it was to go hang out with your girls and talk nonsense? Remember how good it was to be free and liberal? Remember how good it was to just wear them tight-ass pants? Remember how good it felt to be an independent woman? Remember how good it was when family would come around on Christmas and unify on holidays? Remember how good that was? Go ahead and think about it. Remember how good it was to just give yourself to R&B and hip-hop? To nothingness. Remember how good it was to just sleep your days away and not have to do no work for nobody, not have to work for Christ, not have to unify with sisters? Remember how good it was? Satan is constantly trying to remind you. Through what? Because you look at social media all damn day and you're looking at everybody else's life like, damn, they're having a great time.
Absolutely.
I miss that. Your sister calls you. Yeah, girl, you know, me and this, and we're living, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. And you're sitting back like, damn, I'm doing all this work for Christ. That's what my life is about. Everybody else is on vacation and going on cruises and kicking it. And I'm missing out. I need that. Let me put down the work. Let me put down the standard. Satan is presenting all these things to us, man. But it's up to us to fight. It's up to us to not want to love those things more than Christ. Who had their hand up? Jermaine and then Aaron.
It's crazy, man, because like to expound on that point, it's interesting how Satan uses this false sense of like being neighborly, such as that pride week. And it's interesting with these words too, pride.
Right.
It's like, okay, I see a lot of people, men and women, they're coming together for this gay pride thing. They're even in the mall shopping for pride.
That's like what, next week, right?
Right. So they're
2 weeks from now.
That's their false sense of unity, as well as it's crazy how lost our people are. Is that they will get behind this word pride, which the Most High is not with, that word pride, but then how the world glorifies it as this coming together and embracing this
filth, right? Because it is unity. They are unifying, but they're unifying in what Satan wants, because that's what he wants. Remember, Satan is about unity. Satan is about love. He's about all the opposites. He's about these things, but he wants you to do it in negative. That's why it says charity. It says charity seeketh not, thinketh no evil. But Satan wants you to love in evil. He wants you to love in pride. So yeah, Pride Week. Yeah, let's all get together. Let's do it under Satan's banner. So he's about these things. So what he's bringing you back to is the polar opposites of what Christ offers. Because you'll gladly unify for Pride Week. You ain't even gay. Not speaking to you. Half these people ain't even gay. And they'll unify for Christ, for Pride. They'll unify for that. But let's unify to build our nation. They're like, hell nah, nigga, I don't know about that. I ain't doing that. Well, you'll be at Pride Week representing for them. Because that's what Satan wants. You'll unify. You'll have unity in negative. Let's unify to smoke this blunt. Let's unify to run this train. Let's unify to go rob this bank. Let's unify to do the things of the world, because like it says in 1 John. I'm going to go there real quick. Like it says in 1 John, and you just said it, man. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16. For all that is in the world is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Now, we got eyes, we got flesh, we got pride, but our pride is rooted in something different. My pride is in Christ, and not some proud, prideful, I'm better than now, excuse me. But the pride to know that when I hold a standard, the Most High is looking at me. I take pride in that. So there is pride on both sides. There is if you want to use the word lust, you lust for the word. You addicted, like an addiction is a lust, right? These crackheads out here are lusting for that fix. The Bible says that we should be addicted to the ministry. So you see how it's there on both sides, but what side you want it on, the old or the new man? Satan wants you to take it on the old side. Christ is like, no, renew it and use it for the same purpose on the new side. Take the unity, take the pride, take the, if you want to call it lust, that you have, renew it and do it for a good purpose. Renew the knowledge. Y'all see this? From there, go to 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 3.
2 Peter chapter 2. No, it's a lot. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 3.
Go ahead.
According as his divine power hath given unto us all things,
right,
that pertain unto life and godliness.
See, when you're here in this realm, spiritual, with that hedge, that same hedge that Job got, he said he does what?
Pertain unto life and godliness.
See, he's giving you life and godliness, man. The world never gave you life. Show me the life in smoking weed, man. Show me the ambitions in that. Show me the life in whoremongering or being a whore. Bouncing from beef to beef, man to man. Show me where that's life and godliness. Show me pride, where that gets you. If the Bible said pride go up before destruction, then how you even gonna have a life? You're gonna be picking up, you're gonna have a life of picking up the pieces. According to his divine power hath he given you all things that pertaineth to life. Now that you're here, you didn't have that out there. You didn't have that in the world. It had to be given to you here. Read.
Through the knowledge of him hath called us.
Wait, and it happened how?
Through the knowledge of him that called us to glory and virtue.
You see that? It only happens through applying the knowledge. It only happens to being faithful to the wisdom. That's the only way you get the things that pertain to life, godliness, virtue, charity. These are the things that Satan is trying to snatch. These are the things that the world is trying to choke out of you. When it says the world choketh the word, these are the things. Read.
Verse 4. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises.
This is what Satan is trying to take, man. He's trying to take the promises of the kingdom. He's trying to take the things that are promised to Israel. This is what Satan don't want you to have. He don't want you to get that crown. He don't, man. Go to James. Hold where you at. Go to James chapter 1 verse 12. Go to James 1 and verse 12.
James.
Read, somebody.
James chapter 1 verse 12. Blessed is the man that endured temptation.
Why is he blessed?
Endured temptation.
Go ahead, read.
For when he is tried,
because when Satan pops up,
he shall receive the crown of life.
Yeah, but see, Satan don't want you to get that. Satan don't want you to have that. He wants to tempt you and make you fall. He wants to tempt you so you get destroyed, so you don't get this crown of life. You don't get the kingdom. You don't get the things promised to the faithful, to the chosen, to the ones that endure. Read.
Which the Most High hath promised to them that love him.
And the Most High is not a man that he shall lie, or a man that he shall repent. So it ain't some fake promise. It ain't the promises of the world. Oh yeah, in a year you'll be a 6-figure millionaire. Oh yeah, girl, man, you know I love you. I'm gonna give you the world. But all he gives you is a black eye and some babies. All he got for you is some babies and drama. Oh baby, I love you. But behind your back, she's cheating on you. We all went through it in the world, man. That's what the world promises. The world is a lie. This world is a big lie, man. It's deceitful.
Absolutely.
Jump back to Peter's.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 3.
Read verse 4.
Verse 4. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises.
Go ahead.
That by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature.
Come on.
Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust.
The world was great.
Having escaped the corruption.
The world was all good and dandy. That was the place to be.
The corruption.
See, the world was corrupted. Like it said, the former conversation, which was corrupted. Where do you think you got that conversation from? That corrupt way of talking. That corrupt way of doing things. You got it from the world. You got it from your mom. You got it from your dad. You got it from your auntie and your uncles. You got it from church. You got it from your girls. You got it from the homeboys. You got it from Oprah and Jada Pinkett Smith and all the dumb books you read and all the dumb music that you listened to.
Got it.
That's where you got that from. So if you're corrupted by that, why do you still want it? Well, some of y'all don't see the corruption in it. Some of y'all don't see that stuff is wrong. And that's what broke you down. Some of y'all don't see nothing wrong with giving yourself to certain things like music and drugs and whoredoms and giving yourself just over to the flesh. Some people just don't see it. Read.
God. Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust.
Go ahead.
And besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue.
Go ahead.
And to virtue knowledge.
These are all the things that Satan is trying to pull from you. Virtue. Knowledge. Go ahead.
And to knowledge, temperance.
And to be tempered, to be able to endure things. All I'm doing is repeating myself. Go ahead.
And to temperance, patience.
And patience. See, but it all falls under this umbrella of charity, man. Go ahead.
And to patience, godliness.
Because this is the only way to get the promises. This is the only way to get to the kingdom. Go ahead.
And to godliness, brotherly kindness.
Read.
And to brotherly kindness, charity.
You see how it goes back to charity? Read on.
For if these things be in you.
See, if because they weren't in the world because you were corrupted. So these things weren't in us. Not the way we thought they were in us. I love my brother. Well, yeah, you love your blood brother because you're supposed to love him. Ain't that what the world say? Blood thicker than water? Yeah, but where is the real love? Because brothers is shooting brothers. Brothers is stabbing brothers behind the back. Sisters is hating on sisters. But see, the realness of it is you were supposed to change yourself to these things. Satan don't want that. He said if these things be in you, read.
And abound.
And wait, and do what?
And abound.
Wait, they endureth for a while.
And abound.
No, Satan comes and snatches them away.
And abound.
See, they got to abound. They got to stay. They got to be rooted in you. What's going to happen? Read.
They make you that ye shall neither be barren.
See, you won't be barren, man. You won't be fruitless. You know what it means to be barren? You can't bring forth fruit. A woman that's barren can't have babies. Think about that spiritually. This is talking about your spirit. You ain't going to be barren. So when you're sitting around here for 4 years, you ain't going to be stagnant. 5 years, 6 years, you the same thinker, same doer. From 5 years ago, 6 years, a year, you ain't supposed to be thinking the same from a week ago. If you're using this wisdom.
God.
You ain't supposed to be thinking the same from a day ago if you're using this wisdom.
God.
My whole thought process done changed in this whole class. From the way I thought about it to now. Because of the wisdom. Because that's what the wisdom does. It's lively, it's quick, it's always moving. Only if these things abound in you, man. Not if Satan is able to come and snatch them and present lust. Read on.
Nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Yahweh Mashiach.
Read verse 9.
But he that lacketh these things
Come on.
Is blind.
Is what?
Is blind.
Is what?
Is blind.
Read on.
And cannot see afar off.
Read on.
And hath forgotten that he was purged from his own sin.
What did they forget?
That he was purged from his own sin.
See, if these things aren't in you, you forgot what Christ took you from. If you don't let this knowledge abound in you, you forgot the filth, the hurt, the pain that you was dealing with out in the world. You forgot about the fake love. Drake told you about it. He told you about fake love. But see, it's sad when a rapper can see it and you can't. It's sad when Drake got to make a song about fake love and you sitting there like, I don't see it. They love me out in the world. They love me. My mama and them love me. They ever lay down their life for you? Some of y'all's like, yeah, they laid down my life for me. They raised me. They raised you because they felt like they had to. But what did they raise you in? They didn't lay down their life for you and teach you Christ. No greater love than a man lay down his life for his friend. Lay down his life for his brothers. Read.
Verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence.
Come on.
To make your calling in election sure.
Because Satan don't want that for you. Don't y'all see? Satan don't want your calling to be sure. The only way to have surety in what you're called for and that you're going to get these promises and that we're going to have charity and love amongst us and peace and blessings is to give attendance to these things. Go ahead.
For if ye do these things,
come on,
ye shall never fall.
You shall never what?
Never fall.
You shall never fall if you give attendance and do these things, man.
God.
How many times you done fell out in the world? How many times do you have to pick up the pieces out there? How many times did you have to lay down the same brick and mortar? Because you was building and somebody came and did what? Gassed you up. Oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you build. I'm going to help you get that done. But all they was doing was what? Behind your back, kicking down them walls. Yep. Tearing it down. You was building, they were breaking down. Talking about, girl, I love you. Boy, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, my Lord. The whole time, man, you was trying to build. And you wondering why you couldn't get nowhere. Because these things weren't in you. But guess what? They weren't in the ones out there with you. That's why you fail. That's why you fall. Go to Hebrews 3 and verse 12. So if Satan is trying to pull you out of these things, what is it that he's trying to bring you back to? Well, it said that the world was corrupt. That corrupt conversation. The corruption of the world. Now, each and every individual got to sit back and say, well, what was I doing in the world? Because ain't none of us righteous. I don't care how much you knew Christ was black. I don't care how much you knew the Bible. I don't care how much knowledge you had. Were you rolling in faith, in charity, in long suffering? Did you really display and use the fruits of the Spirit? Hell nah. Because you thought charity was giving somebody a free weed sack. You thought long suffering was, well, I'm gonna put up with this nigga just for a little bit. You thought love was just saying it. See, everybody got their own testimony. All you gotta do is just reflect back. Now it's just time to reflect. Not reflect back like, yeah, that's what I want, but reflect back and say, damn, Barakatah Yahweh, the Most High done saved me.
God.
R. Kelly, you saved me. R. Kelly singing about it, man. But it's fake. They doing it for fake. You got to do it for real, man, so you can actually see and say, damn, that's not what I want for myself. God. A lot of y'all got children. Your life should not be what you want for your kids. No. That old woman, that woman of whoredoms, that woman of many men, there's no way you can want that for your daughters. That prideful woman, that hateful, bitter, angry, old ass 30-year-old woman that just don't want nobody around her, independent. There ain't no way you can want that for your daughters. That soft, docile, emotional, prideful man, there ain't no way you can say, man, that's what I want for my son. Read Hebrews.
Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. Take heed, brethren.
And see, you got to take heed, man. You got to watch. Somebody else get 2 Peter 2:15. Read on.
Lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief.
You got to examine yourself and say, man, where's my belief at? Where's my faith at? Where's my loyalty to Christ? He said, take heed. Watch. Wake the hell up.
God.
Go ahead, read.
And departing from the living Most High.
See, you don't want to depart from this power. You don't want to depart from this power. Why? Because he said, according to his divine power, he hath given unto us all things that pertain to life and goodliness. So why would you want to depart from this power when all things of life and goodliness come from it? That's why he said take heed, because you're going to step into death, man.
God.
Read 2 Peter chapter 2:15.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Which have forsaken the right way.
Go ahead.
And are gone astray, following the way of Balaam.
See, when you go back into your old filth, you forsake the right way. Don't think that your old way was the right way. The scriptures is telling us, the knowledge is telling us, you forsake the right way when you go back to where Satan wants you. When you go back relying on that pride, that envy, that hate, that jealousy. You forsake the right way. Read.
The son of Bozor.
Come on.
Who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
Wait, what did he love?
Loved the wages of unrighteousness.
Read on.
But was rebuked for his iniquity.
Read verse 17.
These are wells without water.
How profitable is a well without water? All it is a ditch in the ground. A well is supposed to have water, man, to bring forth life. If these things abound in you, you should not be barren or unfruitful. How good are you if you a well without water? What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that's the whole purpose of a well.
That's the purpose.
To have water. So.
To have water. What is our purpose? Not to serve Satan.
Wow.
Read on.
Clouds that are carried with a tempest.
Come on.
To whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever.
This is what you were in the world, man. You have your hand up, sis? No. This is what you were in the world. You were in darkness. You were just gloomy clouds just carried by a tempest, carried by a wind. You had that cloud over you, You had them dark eyes. You was way down and heavy. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know. Walked around depressed as hell. Anxiety. Always upset, bitter, mad. You were a cloud. Like when you came around, everybody was like, oh, time to go inside. Here's the negativity. And you were just carried with every wind to wherever you pleased. Wherever the wind blew you, that's where you were. There was no stability. There was no root. This is what you go back to when you step away from the power of the Most High. When you step away from the hedge of the Most High. This is what you go back to, man. Read on.
God, verse 18. For when they speak great swearing words of vanity.
And you know what's crazy? The ones that are speaking the great swelling words, that's your mama. That's your daddy. That's your uncle. That's your aunt. That's the homegirl from 5 years ago that all of a sudden you just reconnected with. That's your sister. That's your social media. It says they do what?
They speak great swelling words of vanity.
Of what is it?
Of vanity.
Of promises.
Vanity.
Great swelling words of vanity. Blown up fables. Man, you talk a good one. They just using big words and yeah, I'm gonna give you the world, and when you come out here, this is how it's gonna be. But it's all vain. Yeah, girl, this, y'all dealt with that one boyfriend, man, that was garbage. And how many times you went back to him because he spoke great swelling words of vanity? He ain't never changed. He ain't never did nothing different. He just spoke to you a different way. Nah, girl, I got you. I'm with you. Go ahead.
They allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error.
Read it one more time.
Through much
read verse 18. Y'all really got to understand what this scripture is saying. Read verse 18. This right here is showing you how Satan presents himself.
God.
Read.
For when they speak great swelling words of vanity,
right?
They allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness.
Through much what?
Wantonness.
Come on.
Those that were clean.
Those that were what?
Clean.
See, they give the ones that were clean, which is y'all, us, the ones striving for righteousness, they're giving you vanity and great swelling words to dirty you up. Don't y'all see that? Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to read it. I'm going to go to the annotated Bible and Apocrypha because it uses a word in here that I like. It's 2 Peter 2:17. 2:18. Give me a second. Let me grab it. Bible is worded differently. 2 Peter, right? Second Peter chapter 2 verse 18. For they speak bombastic nonsense. Remember the song Mr. Bombastic? Shaggy was basically boasting himself up to be something that he wasn't. It says they speak bombastic words of nonsense with licentious desires of the flesh. They entice people who have just escaped from those who live in error. Y'all see what that's saying? The world is going to sit there and hit you with, oh, it's all good, man. Look, 6 figures. Yep. They're trying to entice you to come back to the error. They look at the cleanness in you. They're like, man, this dude is rolling righteous. He's holy. Satan sees it. And he's going to send somebody to, let's throw him off course. Let's get him dirty real quick. Let's get them back on that filth. But take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief. As soon as you don't believe, here comes Satan ready to catch away what's in your heart. Y'all gotta see how this all goes hand in hand. Your unbelief is how Satan gets you. Your unbelief is how Satan is going to deal with you, man. The scriptures say, let every man be convinced in his own mind, in his own heart, in his own spirit. Y'all better get convinced. that this is where you're supposed to be, or you're going to be right back in your filth. Finish it up. I'm going to read it one more time. 1 Peter 2:18. For they speak bombastic nonsense and with licentious desire. Look up that word, licentious. Read that real quick.
Licentious. Indulgent freedom to excess.
You see that? With licentious desires. Look now. Don't be under wisdom and knowledge and be under the fetters of wisdom. You gonna have liberty, girl. Now you can do what you want. Yeah. Ain't no man supposed to tell you what to do. You can stay out till 4 a.m. You can smoke as many blunts. You can be with whoever you want. Remember, independent. All my independent women stand up. That's what they're telling you. They're giving you the license to sin. But guess what? The Most High said He gave no man license to sin.
That's what it says. It says using license too.
But that's the word, licentious, license. They're giving you. How can they give you the license to sin when the Most High didn't give you the license to sin? That's why I said it's vanity. It's vain. Because it's going to be to your destruction. Read on.
Oh, I got one more.
Go ahead.
It says unrestrained by law or morality.
Unrestrained by what?
By law or morality.
You see that? Now they're telling you, you don't have to have the restraints of morality. That's not necessary, girl. You don't got to be chaste. You can just go be who you want. Go be free. Pants? Nah, bro. Pants was... You don't need that. That Bible stuff. That's old. You ain't gotta believe that. Christ ain't real. Christ don't matter. He don't care if you wear pants or not. He don't care if you're gay or not. The world will tell you that Christ. What that chick say? Christ would be at a gay parade if he was here. And Christ would rain down fire on that damn. If they didn't know, Christ was the fire in Sodom and Gomorrah. He was the hell and brimstone. These people err not knowing the truth, but they'll tell you, oh yeah, Christ, He loves everybody. Gay parade, He'd be there promoting that.
Not at all.
And the ones that don't have their senses on the right way, the ones that ain't using the wisdom, the ones that like it, they're going to be like, yeah, you're right. Christ would be there, Because Christ loves everybody. So maybe I should be there too.
No.
They're going to leave the power, man. Read on.
Through much wantonness.
Through much what?
Wantonness.
Read.
Those that were clean escaped from them who live in error.
It says through much wantonness. Again, whose wantonness is it? Whose desire is it to get you dirty?
Satan.
It's Satan. Through Satan's wantonness. Through the wantonness of the world. They want to get you dirty, man. Read on.
While they promised them liberty, they themselves are...
They promised them what?
Liberty.
See, Satan is going to promise you liberty. But read on.
They themselves are the servants of corruption.
I got to see it, man. How is somebody that's a servant of sin going to promise you liberty? How does that even make sense?
No.
How is the world that is in bondage to sin and in bondage to corruption going to liberate you? Well, it's not. From there, go to 1 Peter 4 and 3. Somebody else get 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. I'm finishing this up, so we're going to be here a little bit, a few moments over. This is going to get, I only got a few more scriptures.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3.
Read it. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Y'all just write it down.
For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Wait, was this our present life?
Of our past, of our slop.
Read it again.
For the time past of our life may suffice us to wrought the will of the Gentiles.
For the time past of your life, it might have sufficed you to wrought the will of the Gentiles. The will of the Gentiles is God ain't real, don't follow no standard, don't have no structure, love your husband, just you cook them a meal, so that's love. Love your children, but abandon them, leave them with strangers. Leave them by themselves overnight to go do whatever you want to go do. That was the will of the Gentiles, man. That was your past life. Read.
When we walk in lasciviousness.
What did you walk in?
Lasciviousness.
So your past life, it wasn't holy?
Lasciviousness.
What else was in your past life?
Lust.
Wait, it was what?
Lust.
No, surely it was charity and love.
Lust.
Go ahead.
Excess of wine.
Wait, you are what?
Excess of wine.
Excess of the spirit.
Of wine.
Read.
Revealings.
Revelings.
Revelings.
Always partying. Always kicking it. Read on.
Banquetings.
See? Go ahead.
And abominable idolatries.
Wait. Surely you was serving righteous things.
Abominable idolatries.
Yeah, because your past life was about Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Halloween, 4th of July, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. You idolize those things, man. What you think? That when you get pulled back into the world, you're just going to be the pillar of righteousness? Bruh, the world is going dirt. The whole point was for them to re-dirty you. Not for you to stand there like the pillar of a standard. Like you leave the world and all of a sudden you're just going to be walking around with hair wraps and fringes. You're going to be in the world and you're going to be keeping the holidays, the high holy days. Negro, please. You're going to go right back to your filth.
Gone.
Read.
Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot.
See, the world thinks it's strange that you ain't doing this. That's why they want to pull you back into that. Where we at?
Verse 4.
Go to 1 Corinthians 6.
Can I say something?
1 Corinthians?
Yeah.
Back on to verse 3 in 1 Peter's, right? It says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. When you look up that word suffice, it says to satisfy, to content, to be equal to the wants or the demands of. So the scripture is telling you that the time has passed where living lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banqueting, and abominable idolatries. Those times have passed where that is going to satisfy you. Or
should satisfy you.
Or to be enough. It should. It should at least have passed, but for not all it hasn't. But then I just wanted to throw this in there. It's Colossians 2:10. It says, and ye are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power. So you go back to that suffice back in 1 Peter 4:3, where it says, the time has passed. This stuff, it shouldn't be able to make you feel complete anymore. It shouldn't, because now for us, our only way of feeling complete and feeling 100% on point, especially in our minds, is when we're moving in the spirit. When we're moving in the spirit of Christ and we're doing His will. That's the only way we're gonna feel complete. Why? Because the time passed for us where we felt complete, smoking weed and drinking and doing all kinds of foolishness. Nah, we've been enlightened. So now it's on to it should at least be on to bigger and better things.
Only if you don't love those old things. Only if Satan can't use those to pull you back. Forget about Corinthians. Go to Galatians
4:9.
Actually, read 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. We gotta read that.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 9.
Go ahead.
And let us not be weary in well doing.
Go ahead.
For in doing
No. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9.
Read.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?
None of them people out there are getting the kingdom, man.
At all.
Don't y'all know that? No person in the world is going to get the kingdom. Read.
But not deceived.
Be not deceived.
Be not deceived.
Don't let Satan fool you. The kingdom is not there. Read.
Neither fornicators.
Come on.
Nor adulterers.
Read.
Nor adultery.
Come on.
Nor effeminate.
Nor effeminate. Come on.
Nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Read on.
Nor thieves. Nor covetous. Nor drunkards. Nor revelers. Nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
Read on.
And such were some of you.
And such were what?
Were some of you.
Such were some of you. This was your life. But not no more. This is what Satan wants you to get back into. Covetous, stealing, adultery, abusing yourselves with mankind, homosexuality, drug use. This is what Satan wants for you, man. Read.
But ye are washed.
But ye are what?
Are washed.
See, he wants the ones that are washed. Read on.
But ye are sanctified.
Come on.
But ye are justified In the name of Yahweh Shach Mashiach, and by the Spirit of our power, all things are lawful unto me.
That's it on that. Galatians. Damn, I thought I got the one. Hey, give me the one. I had that. Galatians 4:9.
Galatians chapter 4 verse 9. But now, after that ye have known the Most High.
See, now that you know the Most High,
or rather are known of the Most High.
And are known of the Most High through what? Through your good works. Through your charity, through your love, through your patience, through your faith, through your long suffering. Now that these things are in you, go ahead.
How turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements?
How you gonna turn back to the weakness, man? It says the weak and beggarly elements. How you gonna go be a bum? How you gonna leave the power of the Most High and go be a damn vagabond? A bum in the spirit. Because that's all it's gonna be. It's spiritual trials and tribulations, but no way to fix them. No seeing what you're going through. How you gonna be cleaned up and then go want to be a bum, man? That's what this Bible is asking you.
A while ago you said the kingdom of heaven, it ain't nowhere out there, right? So,
right. The kingdom is in us.
So it gotta be within.
Right.
Right.
The kingdom of heaven is, the scriptures say, the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Look not here or there.
Right. The kingdom of heaven is us.
Okay.
But how can you get that? How can you get yourself to the kingdom or be the kingdom if you're a fornicator or adultery or one of those things that was named? No. You just gonna be a nigga in the world. Jessica.
Can you help me find one last scripture?
What?
Where it says, once it don't say this exactly, but it says once you begin to hate the things that the Most High hates, and you begin to love the things that He loves.
We gotta find it. I know it's not worded like that. We'll find it. We'll find it. Give me that one that I just wanted.
Oh, it's 2 Peter 2:22.
Go to 2 Peter 2:22. I thought I had this.
2 Peter 2:22.
God.
And then I got one more, and then that's it.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 22.
Read.
But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb.
Right.
The dog is turned to his own vomit.
He has done what?
Turned into his own vomit.
See, a dog returning to his vomit? Man, if y'all, it's filthy. It's filthy. He returns to the things that he regurgitated that weren't digested. Think about it. The vomit is representative of the world. When you vomit something up, what is it showing you about what you vomited up? Why does a person vomit?
Because whatever he was intaking was bad for his system.
It was bad for him and his body rejected it. It was making him sick and you rejected it. Only a dog is going to eat what his body rejects. Only a beast with no knowledge of self, with no standard, with no care, is going to return back to what's bad for their body and their spirit. Y'all see this? And then once you do that, see, Satan will make it look like, oh yeah, everything's all good. It's going to be all glowy, that vomit. It ain't really vomit. It's just cereal. It ain't vomit. It's just rice. He's going to make it look good. And make you think that, yeah, once you go back to the weak and beggarly elements, somehow, some way, you're just never going to be affected because you got enough wisdom to stand. Well, let's see what the scriptures say. Go to Matthews. I got two more. Go to Matthews 12. Matthews 12 and 45.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 45. Then goeth he that taketh him with himself 7 other spirits.
43. 12 and 43. Salakia. Excuse me.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of the man, he walketh through dry places.
He does what?
Walking through dry places.
See, when that unclean spirit comes about you, when you get in this realm and you getting purged, those spirits just don't disappear. They walk around looking for somebody to reattach to, man.
Gone.
Your lust is not just disappeared, it's looking to reattach and be rehoused. Go ahead.
Seeking rest.
Seeking what?
Rest.
Yeah, because those unclean spirits, they're not going to rest until they attach on to something. Read on.
And findeth none.
Come on.
Then he said, I will return into my house.
I will do what?
Return into my house.
Yeah, because Satan said, well, here's an unclean spirit. And you were like, yeah, let me entertain that. So now the spirit is back in you. You're the house. You're that house. The temple. Read.
From whence I came out.
Come on.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty and swept.
Right, because when that spirit comes, the house is clean, son. Like, damn, they done swept up. They done made the bed. They done cooked. Damn, kitchen ain't no dishes. Let me filth it up. How can I get it dirty? Well, he's like, man, it's so clean up in here. This one spirit, this one demon is like, damn, it's so clean. I ain't gonna be able to affect this place. What does he got to do? Read on.
And garnish. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits.
He does what?
Taketh 7 other spirits.
He takes 7 other spirits, man, because he realized that spirit is like, wait a minute, no, it's too clean. We got to have a party up in here. You go back to the world, you might move around and, man, yeah, I'm going to fight the pork demon. I'm going to fight this demon. I'm going to fight the weed. I'm going to wear my hair wrap and my skirts. I'm going to rock my fringes, man. I'm going to rock my beard. The demons is like, damn, this dude is standing fast. But guess what? 7 other demons are going to come along with the lust that you was trying to fight. 7 other spirits, man. It's going to be 7 times worse. What does 7 represent? Bro, it's going to be a complete destruction of your spirit. It's going to be a complete downgrade. That's why the Most High said you return to the weak and beggarly elements, to be in bondage, to be a bum. You're going to get a complete ass whooping, man. Read on.
More wicked than himself.
Come on.
And they enter in and dwell there.
Read.
And the last state of the man is worse than the first.
You worse off than when you first got cleaned up. You worse off than before you got into the knowledge. You're worse, man. If you don't believe me, there's examples. There are people. We see it all the time. They come back and they getting hit harder with demons and spirits, and the Most High is checking them double time, man. Double time. And guess who else is getting the brunt of it? Their children. The children they drag into the mire with them. That they drag into the mud. One more scripture. And this is why it's easy for us to draw back. This is why it's easy for us to be dirty again. It's something real simple. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, 6 and 17. We can't make it simple for Satan, man, to be tossed and sift you and pull you. We can't make it that simple where he just dangles the carrot and we run. Where he just gives you a little tribulation and you run. Where he just makes things look hard and we run. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 17.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 verse 17.
Read.
For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
This is speaking of wisdom. When you read verse 15, it's talking about wisdom. It said the very true beginning of wisdom is the what?
The desire of discipline.
You know why it's so easy for Satan to get you? Because you don't desire discipline. Like it said in Peter's, that the licentious, right? They give you, the world promises you the license to not have discipline, not have rules, not have regulations. The desire of discipline, that's the beginning of wisdom, man. You gotta want to be desirable to be under discipline and wisdom and take those chains, man, and chain yourself to wisdom. Chain yourself to wisdom. Chain yourself to discipline. Chain yourself to being subject to Christ. You gotta want to be a prisoner, man. Not just some fly-by-night Israelite. Not just some I'm here now and I'm gone a week later. You gotta hunker down. Read.
And the care of discipline is love.
Oh, there it goes back. Love, charity. See, the care of discipline is because you have love for what you do, what you're going to endeavor. Love for your people. Love for yourself, man. We gotta love ourselves. You gotta love your children. You gotta want more for them. Read.
Verse 18. And love is the keeping of her law.
Love is the what?
The keeping of her law.
It boils down to just keeping the law. Follow righteousness. Wives, be in subjection to your husband. That's a law if you didn't know that. Peter wasn't just dropping some crap out of his rear end. He was giving law. You're going to be bound to your husband. Paul wasn't dropping some crap when he said the head of the woman is the man. He wasn't just making something up. He was dropping law. He wasn't giving suggestions, man. When the man is supposed to fall under Christ, that wasn't a suggestion. Like maybe y'all should do it. No, keep the law. Love your brother as yourself. That's law. That's not a suggestion. Charity, love, peace. Those are not suggestible like maybe I should have them. Go ahead.
And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
You see that? This is how you don't fall back into your filth. This is how you don't fall back into your mire, the mud, the dirt, the corruptness. It's the what? It says it's the assurance of incorruption. Read on.
Verse 19. And incorruption maketh us near unto God.
You see this? It's simple. I know it sounds simple, but guess what? It's simple to do, man. Incorruption is what?
Maketh us near unto God.
Read verse 20.
Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
You see that? The desire of wisdom is going to bring you to the kingdom. It's going to make the kingdom be in you. Look neither here nor there. The kingdom of heaven is within.
Done.
It's going to bring you to that king-like mind.
Yes, sir.
That queen mind. That royal mind. That mind of Christ.
Done.
So is this? So what you saying? So what they're saying is basically, if you think like man, you're gonna get man results, but if you think like God, you'll get God results.
Yeah.
Okay.
The scriptures say you are gods, but you shall die like men.
Right.
Why? Because we sin. Because we go for carnal thoughts. Because we let Satan pull us. Ye are gods, but you shall die like men. We gods, man. We're power. We're the power. We represent the image of the Most High, man. In power and strength. Don't let Satan diminish you. Y'all get this? We're going to wrap it up. If y'all got questions, just hold them. I know I took y'all over. Everybody online, we thank y'all for joining us. We thank y'all for sticking through. I'm sorry I took y'all long, but, you know.
Gotta come out.
Yeah. Con. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday, man. Y'all fight, man. Satan is really trying to have his way. So keep fighting, keep believing, and yeah, we'll see y'all back on Wednesday. Everybody say shalom.
Shalom.
Everybody else is from
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew,